I'm going to count down 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. It is Sunday evening here on the internet. I'm Earl Holland, welcoming everyone to another edition of the Sports Refuge Podcast. And of course, we have another broadcast. Okay, and we're going through some technical issues right now. Let's see. While I'm working that out, I'll introduce a guest and we'll work out our technical issues. Of course, with me previously from one of our earlier episodes, the R&B mixtape. This is volume 2, and we're doing this a bit live to, of course, live to edit eventually. With me going from right to left all the way down. To my right is Kristian Blake. Of course, you guys have heard him on the previous episode and our previous live stream we had a few months ago. And then after that, it is Thomas Banks. And then after that, it is Korey Collick, who we are working on the technical issues right now to get those figured out. Let's see. You can't hear me at all, Korey? Let me see.
I can hear you before the music came on, but as for now, I can't hear you.
Okay, yeah, that is weird. Hold on, let me try something real quick. Okay, Korey, now can you hear me? Let's see. I'm trying to see if you're having any luck still. Because we can hear you.
I don't think Tom can hear either.
Thomas, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear all of you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we Gucci.
Okay. That is so weird.
He probably got he don't got Xfinity.
I got Fios, so I mean, them Fios. Xfinity is such a.
You can hear me. If I could, I would. But I
can you hear me now? Korey, can you hear me now? Huh. It is. I mean, this is technology. It happens, and when you do live streams, those things tend to happen. But as Korey's joining back in, how are you guys been doing? Kristian, Thomas, how you been?
Doing great, man. Doing
good,
great,
man. Good.
Yeah.
Trying to stay warm and trying to stay cool in this heat.
Yeah, the summertime is just. I don't know this. I honestly can say I sometimes don't get the appeal of summer, especially going to the beach. What are we going to tan or something? I mean, in all honesty, are we going to tan anymore? I mean, you know how people kill for our skin tones, and yet all of a sudden they start getting followed in stores and they change their mind.
Yeah, that's the truth, man.
There you go.
They be all good until the cops start pulling them over.
Right?
Oh yeah. It's like what is it? Malibu's Most Wanted. All of a sudden you want to be like B-Rad, and then all of a sudden you figure it out. No, you don't want to be like B-Rad. Like Paul Moon.
It takes a lot of strength to walk into our pigmentation.
Video conference.
We are honored to be the way we are.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Combining a little bit of Donald Glover with Paul Mooney. Everybody wants to be a vampire, but don't want to be a vampire. So
hey, that's the truth, bro.
Hey, so true.
Hey, I wouldn't want to be anything other than being black. That's just what I feel.
That's what's up.
Being black is like the best thing in the world. You're like a superhero to some people. That they don't think you're real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this story. It's an interesting story, and it made me think about that as soon as you said that, Kristian. When I was doing the Sports Refuge thing 5 years ago, there was this black guy who had his son. He wanted, after it was like probably one of like win number 5 or 6 or whatever. It was that the last day I was there, and the guy just like wanted me to take a picture with his son and just take a picture. It was like, this is an example. It's like, this is an example. What you're doing is a great feat, and it's something like that is I don't remember the words specifically, but it did it got me. And I'm like, I can't believe it that I'm actually somebody, something to aspire to.
Up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's you don't really think about it. And it's like, it's insane, but it was a cool thing. So I definitely can't, that experience, you just, it has its burdens, but every experience has burdens. Like I said, we know we will never know what it's like to be a woman. We will never know what it's like to be a black woman. We will never know what it's like to be Hispanic. We will never know what it's like. Those are things we'll never walk in. We can only walk our path, and the best thing we can do is just try to set an example.
Amen.
I don't know though, Earl. Nowadays they got all the devices to change your sexuality and all this stuff. So it's kind of crazy now what we can do, man.
I mean, some people just be like Rachel Dolezal, and just like they identify as black, but that's a whole different story.
But look what happened to Sammy Sosa, man. Sammy went from looking, I don't know.
Yo, he looks like a ghost.
When I see Sammy, I was like, "What is he doing? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?"
Let me tell you the story. I was watching out, and I talked to Brian about this all the time. So I was watching. First of all, Sammy Sosa now looks like Al Capone. He looks like Al Capone. If you see, he's a bowler hat away from looking like Al Capone. And here's the funny thing. And then there was a story a few years ago when he was just getting married again, and it's on MLB Network, and Harold Reynolds is sitting there, and he's like, "Man, Sammy, what happened to you? You used to be darker than I was. What happened to you?" On live TV? And his co-host is sort of like, I'll be honest, a white guy, and he's like, he doesn't know how to respond to it. And it's like, yeah, again, I'm laughing because Harold Reynolds you've seen Harold Reynolds on ESPN and all that. Yes. And like I said, and just the whole fact that he was just saying that out and out, and he was saying what everybody else probably was thinking. I mean, that was perfect. I mean, of course, he's a walking HR offense when it comes to everything else at his job, but Harold Reynolds was like right on that one.
Self-hate is real, man. Self-hate is very real.
It is. Sammy Sosa face looked like when on Dark Man, when his time was running out and the mask started boiling off his face. Sammy Sosa look a mess, man.
If he's happy with it, unless he's got that, unless he's got vitiligo or something, and
we got that Michael Jackson Little Kim look now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like when they go through these enhancements, man, it's supposed to make you look, better than what you are before. But if you look at it, it goes to show you, man, like you are meant to be who you're supposed to be, man.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like you try to change stuff, it doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Like Little Kim. Speaking of that, man, Little Kim, it was beautiful the way she was.
She was.
Yes.
There was nothing wrong with her.
I
you know what I'm saying?
agree with Tom. 1%. Like for real.
But now look at her, man. She looked like a blow up doll, just like
Yes, yeah.
And it's a shame, man. Especially it floats around in the black community, because a long time ago we was taught self hate. You know what I mean?
The dozens game. The dozens games come back and haunt you. Everybody talking about somebody's so dark or somebody's ear so big, somebody's nose so big. Those things will come back and haunt you. And unfortunately, that is something that will it tends to linger. And people may not think it does, but it really does. I mean,
I feel like people like those people, like, to me, they're not comfortable with their own skin. They're not comfortable with who they really are. Like Tom said, they try to impress or try to make others happy because they're not happy with themselves. Maybe something they went through in life, maybe something they're experiencing now. We don't know. But I would never change my skin complexion for anybody.
No,
I never would. I'm literally black. I'm a black dad. I'm a black father. I'm a black husband. I'm a black man. At the end of the day, whether I'm black, Spanish, anything, I'm not changing who I am. I'm representing who I am. Because every day I got to walk down that street, and no matter what anybody says I changed about me, they're still gonna know me as what? A black man.
And not only that, like, what do you tell your children? Like, when they see old pictures of you, like, Daddy, that you? Like, you don't really look at, they see you as this, ghost of a person. They see, you 20 years ago. You're like, how do you explain to your child that, like, I did all this to myself? You know what I mean? Because he was Carmel. Same thing with Little Kim. That brown skin complexion.
A prime example of that to me is like Jay and Novice. Look what they used to rap about, what they used to talk about, stuff like that. They got older, they got wiser, they got more intelligent on things. And now look at their wealth. Now look at their children growing up, and they're more in their lives than ever. So being black doesn't mean being black. It means being a part of something that's growing. That's what it means.
But also, too, Sammy comes from a different culture. Like, he's not African American.
No, he's not.
He's like, he's was he Tom Cuban?
He's Dominican.
He looks like a roll of toilet paper.
He's Dominican. He's from the Dominican Republic. It's funny, and you think about it, that's an island where you got two different forms of black. You got two different forms of black. On the left side of Hispaniola, you got Haiti.
I wouldn't mind visiting the DR, but
I mean, just think like this. And me, I love baseball. Watch baseball all the time. Like you said, look at the Puerto Rican players and Cuban players. Look at most Hispanic players. They can range from, like, you look at Puerto Rico. There's some guys who like Edgar Martinez who are light skinned. Then you look at Roberto Alomar, and then you look at Carlos Delgado. That's three different. Those guys are all Puerto Rican, and they're three different shades there.
But then you look at Val Guerrero.
Doesn't he Dominican?
Dominican.
Yeah.
Pedro Martinez, Dominican. Jericho out there. So Jericho right there was pretty much the giveaway that he was.
Right. Here's my thing about Pedro. Here's my thing about Pedro. Okay, because he changed a little bit too. Let's keep it real.
That's a weight gain. That weight gain is what changed Pedro.
Yeah, but I never understood why he said the Yankees are my daddy. I didn't understand that whole.
Because they were
that one game. That one game.
Yeah.
It's that one game where again.
That year we were.
Did he even get a ring?
No, they won in 04. They won in 04.
Let's not talk about that.
Red Sox won in 04.
Kristian was the pitcher, right?
Yeah. That doesn't exist in life.
Mr. Getting shot.
I put it like this. I used to, first of all, when you heard about when Adam Jones has had several things happen to him. First of all, in San Francisco, when the Orioles were playing there, somebody threw banana at him out on the field. This was like 2008, 2009. And I, again, watching the games all the time, when I heard about that, and then the BS excuse that the guy used for saying that something about he just threw the man. It was a stupid reason. And then the Boston stuff, and then seeing Kurt Schilling trying to, just to try to basically dismiss him just because of his intro batting, his batting music, his intro music is ridiculous. And I always thought this guy suffered basically survive throat cancer, mouth cancer, and then it's like, and y'all took and they took Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn probably would have been better off, a better life used, and then instead of Kurt Schilling, because in all honesty,
so
Kurt Schilling's a garbage person.
So here's my question. For baseball. Will Barry Bonds ever get in the Hall of Fame? Will Pete Rose ever get in the Hall of Fame?
No.
And will Mark and Sammy ever get in the Hall of Fame?
Okay, here's the thing. And
Mark made it, right? Mark
no, he didn't make it.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
And Barry Bonds.
Okay, so first of all, Pete Rose, he before the whole gambling craze began, he knew what he was getting into, and here's the thing. He should get in as a player, nothing else. He play because there was no proof that he bet as a player. Now as a manager, he shouldn't be involved. He shouldn't be involved as a manager. He shouldn't. He was on TV for a bit, but he should be able to get in the Hall of Fame as a player, because all the other stuff, gambling. He knew what he was getting into. Betting. He knew. Yeah. And it's not like. There was a rule saying you don't bet on baseball. He bet on his team as a manager. And when you don't bet, you're basically betting against your team. Okay, but it's not like Michael Jordan and Barkley gambling. Guess what? There's no rule. If there was a rule saying you don't bet on certain things, no betting at all, then that would be different.
But here's my thing: is betting now. Like how long are we gonna hold? Okay, like prime example. Here's my thing, and maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm thinking differently. But my thing is this. We cannot keep holding on to things that happened in the past tense because we never grow from that. So my thing is, how long will we? Just like, okay, prime example, an athlete does something wrong. Are we going to hold it over that one player's head the rest of his life?
Well, hold up, because R. Kelly been pissing on kids for a long time. Now, I don't. The dude from, like I said last time, the dude from Jeepers Creepers, he was a child. He did child pornography.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Now there's a thing that goes: do you punish the product, or do you punish the man that made the product? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, correct. That happens, man, where it's gonna suffer. So I mean, your question,
it's just life. I mean, even with the R. Kelly thing, I think people inside their own, I guess, dwellings, like home and stuff, they may be kind of easing up on them. It's not like how it was. It's not like how it was when you like 10 years ago and you're like, oh man, you listen to R. Kelly, you stupid, you crazy. Mm-hmm. Now I kind of think it's not gone away, but in the public's perception, they have taken the cuffs off and kind of saying, okay, I listen to him. I mean, I don't like him, but it was a point where you didn't listen to him at all, and you didn't like him. Now I think if you listen and you still don't like him, his music.
I still listen to certain songs by R. Kelly because I was a big fan.
R. Kelly the GOAT, man.
Kelly
gonna be the GOAT, bro.
I can't get past the Honey Love, definitely 12 play. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, you can't knock the music, man. The music is good.
The talent is there, but my thing is, look at Chuck Berry. He raped the white girls and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he still made it in the Hall of Fame. No. Hold on. Let's be real.
I'm listening.
Let's be real. He raped little girls. Okay, let's go into other artists who got
Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy was singing the men.
Right. Marvin Gaye was found in the car with a.
That was Teddy.
Can I say this? Here's a question. Why is it that we always make fun of Teddy, but there's always been rumors about Luther, and yet everybody gives Luther pat. And there's nothing, again, I don't care what your lifestyle is.
Nice,
the problem is
Luther voice. Luther, I mean, listen, me personally, I'm not gonna knock somebody's talent. Yeah. That's something God gave them. He didn't give it. I mean, everybody can't. Let's be real. Everybody can't sing. Everybody can't dance. Everybody can't perform. Everybody can't do that. But his activities, I don't approve. But his music, I'm not gonna knock the talent that he put out because let's be real. A lot of us were made off that music. Let's be real.
Well, but see, that's the difference.
I mean, my mom loves some Teddy Pendergrass. She lives
That's different between Teddy and between Teddy, Luther, and Marvin, who was dipped back and forth, and R. Kelly. What they were doing, that was just their personal life. Yeah. So really, same with George Michael. Really, they weren't hurting nobody.
Donnie McClurkin.
They were doing
Donnie McClurkin.
They were that was just their personal life. What R. Kelly was doing was hurting.
Donnie McClurkin.
Elvis. Let's be honest. Elvis married a 15-year-old.
Yeah, but
Caucasian male's been doing that for eons.
Correct.
But let's take
look at Columbus. Look at Columbus. We ain't gonna get you in that story. Columbus was raping girls.
Hold on. Let's take Teddy and Luther out of those guys, because what those guys were doing was against the law, pornography stuff. What Teddy and Luther may have been doing was just their personal thing. They may have been bisexual. Nothing wrong with that. What Chuck Berry and R. Kelly and what's the white dude just said?
Elvis.
Great Ball of Fire.
I was gonna say Jerry Lee Lewis. The weird thing is that whole thing with the Chuck Berry, whether that law was, I don't want to say that law was basically racially biased. The man law. If you took any woman over the state line for the use of sex, apparently it doesn't matter if they were an adult. I mean, I'm not going to get in this R. Kelly thing about what is, but I'm just saying I thought the women were adults, and it's just like you can't take them over state lines, and they were racially biased laws, and they were over 18. I don't know if they were or not, and whether it was, I'm not sure. I don't know the whole thing, because normally I'd go down a Wikipedia wormhole about Chuck Berry or other people, but I've never done that, so I don't know if they were of age. If they were underage, that's some serious stuff. With again along the lines of R. Kelly, Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis.
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to knock their music. I mean, like I said, their music is classic, man. I'm sorry. I mean, hands down, it's classic. We grew up. I mean. Yeah, we know what went on now, but the music was there, man. The talent. I mean, you think about.
I think for our generation, it's hard because R. Kelly was the composer to our generation. Like
he was.
You can't separate what we're talking about from 91 to 2015. Everything. So it's hard for us because it's like, yo, that's my childhood right there. Like. 12 play, TP2.com, what was the other one? With
Happy People. Happy People.
Yeah.
Chocolate Factory.
Chocolate
Factory. Yeah.
Down Low.
That was our childhood.
It's equivalent to like you can't walk into it, like you cannot not go to Walmart. Like everybody goes to Walmart, man. You know what I'm saying? But like how we grew up on, there was McDonald's. Everybody eventually get at what you. I'm not gonna get. I'm gonna get me some chicken nuggets.
Just
like with us with R. Kelly. I'm gonna listen to some R. Kelly because you know what, he is one of the the pioneers, man, for us.
Correct.
That was our childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Boys to Men, like all them, like you know what I mean, like you know what I'm saying, like like that's just like if John B. I saw John B. If I found out John B. was a racist. And I'm like, damn, man, this whole time I've been listening to John B. and this dude actually don't like black people.
Exactly.
Culture. He'd be a culture vulture. Like there are plenty of other culture vultures that have occurred. We were talking about the last time. We were talking about Timberlake. We were talking about Sam Smith because.
Oh my God, yo. Yeah. Those two.
I told you, Sam Smith. Like I said, some people want to be the culture just so they can make a buck, and then transition to something else. I ain't heard nothing from Sam Smith lately.
Here's my question. We accept certain people, but we know their lifestyle to an extent. Like, a prime example, we know most rappers were drug dealers. Most rappers were stealing, robbing people, like DMX, prime example. DMX, whole life, he's been robbing people. But guess what? We love his music. Do we judge him?
Yeah, but that's kind of, I think some of that stuff is a little fabricated, man, because a lot of intelligent, like Mobb Deep and them, they went to like a performing arts school.
Correct. But my sister-in-law went to school with Prodigy. Like, she knows Prodigy. Like, when he was living, she knew him. She knew all of them. She went to school with Cheeks. She knows Mr. Cheeks. Like, she knows him. She grew up in the same school with him. Everything. She knows him.
Yeah.
She knows LL. She knows LL. Like, she's from Jamaica Queen. My sister-in-law from Jamaica Queen. She knows LL. Like,
but see, But see, that's the thing though. Like kind of come with what you're saying, Korey, and also too what you're saying too, Tom. Like, why is it that even though LL Mobb Deep didn't rap about the lifestyle that they were, didn't look like they were rapping about, why is it that the street cred thing allowed them to be prosperous? So it goes to kind of what both of you guys are saying. Like, street cred does lend itself to you selling records,
right?
Even though a lot of these guys weren't doing what they rapped about, you know what I mean? Right. But it's so there was some truth in to it. Like Pac wasn't just down this thug guy. You know what I'm saying?
Pac went to jail for the whole rape thing.
Yeah, but that would make him a thug. I mean, that makes him dumb and stupid.
Right.
But like
the little girl got shot, and then that was also another thing. Then
yeah. So it's like it does lend to its street cred does lend to you selling records in the hip hop genre. So you're right. It does lend to you being a better in the public eye. All these kids now. Soldier Boy and all these cats. They throwing up gang signs, Power Rule, Bloods, Crip. Half of them ain't that, but it sells records.
It does.
Yeah, like DJ Quick. Everybody know that was he was a Blood, right? And
Blood,
that's why. Yeah, because that's why there's no C in his name there, but the things like that, and like Snoop. Let's use Snoop for example. People love Snoop, and having it. I mean,
Snoop was a Crip.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. It's like, and I look at that picture, the picture of him and Martha Stewart. Only one person in this photo is a convicted felon, and it's not Snoop. It's true. It is true. And like I said, even then, that's another example. Martha Stewart didn't do anything different that the guys at Enron or all those other things did. There's a fact that they imagine that Oprah did the same thing. She would have went to jail for a very long time. But no other dude who has done that before, it's like them slap on the wrist, because really all I heard is you pay the money back and you promise you won't do it again. Well, there's no reason that she should have went to jail.
Well, that's just like Diddy. Diddy's father was a kingpin in New York. Everybody knows that. And Diddy was part of the drug game before that. He was. His dad was a well-known kingpin.
Well, like I said, in hip hop, street cred does lend itself to you selling records, even though a lot of these guys, I believe a lot of them, don't really live the life like that they rap about. And that goes to storytelling. Nas would always tell you that he's a storyteller. He didn't do all these things. He's just telling the stories about these things that went on.
Selling a 5-pound bag of weed does not make you a thug. Selling a 5-piece bag of weed does not make you a drug dealer. It just makes you, I don't know what to call it.
It makes you, it's poor and you want to get out of the situation you're in. And you think selling drugs is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, but think about it too. It don't mix. Like the two don't mix. Like my man Eddie Griffin said a long time ago. He was like, there's no such thing as a gangster rapper.
No.
If you're
Gangsters
a gangster
supposed to be silent.
Yeah. Most of the time you're talking too damn much when you're a gangster rapper. So there's the two, like, it don't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. He probably was like, to me, my favorite out of all of them, because Nipsey, granted, he passed away probably way before his time, but like at least he was trying to like he was still there, just like Big L. Like, you know what I'm saying? Big L was still in the streets or whatever. But, at least he was trying to make a difference, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, sometimes your deeds catch up to you, man. You don't know what he's done. You know what I mean? You never know, like in the camera, like, oh man, he's doing this, he's doing that. But you don't know what somebody doing in their personal life. Right. You know what I mean?
I heard the Nipsey thing was it's some disgruntled dude who didn't get it was something stupid. It was something stupid that wasn't even drug related. It was just some dude who was mad about either not getting a job or over some stupid thing involving his store. It wasn't even anything that was like that altered anybody's lives or hurt anybody. It was just something stupid. That. And again, I've definitely not caught up with a lot of R&B and rap today, but I know that was just the dumbest reason for somebody to get shot over something stupid that wasn't even that impacted anything.
And I heard Nipsey gave him money, like, to help him out.
Most killings, most killings are over things that really won't, affect your life, if you just keep on walking, you know what I mean? But people still do it.
Pride is a very strong thing, because some people will do stuff just to say that you can't get over on me or things like that. And You know how many times how much of a man how easy it is to be a man by just walking away from something instead of letting it escalate. I mean, and this stuff, no matter, we're 38 years old.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a coward. It does not make you a coward, bro.
Yeah, it makes you smarter.
Yeah,
it makes you smarter. You got to walk away at a certain point.
You could live to see another day instead of living and then dying that same day. There's a difference.
Because you'll be forgotten, bro. For real. How long have you I mean, don't get me wrong. We hold our loved ones dear to us. But like, you know what I mean? All of us are just like, we're pretty average people. Now, if we were stardoms, you know what I mean? Yeah, we'd be remembered for like a couple of months. You know, I mean, God rest Kobe Bryant. I mean, we all, you know, when he passed away, I remember it was like the number one thing on the news, like for like for like weeks. And now look, everybody eventually gets, no offense. I mean, and that's rest in peace to Kobe and, you know, his daughter, but eventually people move on and they're like, you know what? Yeah, Kobe was a great player. And now what?
But see, the only thing I didn't like about that whole thing, about the whole Kobe situation, and I think I understand it for the concept of the media, and I understand the concept of somebody just trying to get a paycheck just to talk negative about him. It was like, oh, but he raped somebody. I'm like, okay, listen, you know, we don't know. I wasn't there in the room. I don't know what happened.
I just think he had rough sex, bro.
I think so too.
She couldn't handle the Black Mamba, bro.
They said she worked in the hotel. She came to his room and was like, "I'll do whatever." That's consensual.
But even Kobe said that
I'm not trying to offend any woman who may be watching this.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to offend any woman who's watching this. But my thing is, she came to his room, told him, "You can do whatever." He did it, and then she turned around and said, "He raped me."
Because he got money, man. He has status. It's status.
That's not the same as somebody who rapes you for real and takes advantage of you, holds you, ties you down, blah 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 blah. That's
R. Kelly. Hence R. Kelly.
Bill Cosby. We know this is gonna happen. We know we're gonna get Bill Cosby.
Whoa.
But see, that's the thing. When you have those situations, that's why, you know, I'm of the cloth you shouldn't be yourself in that situation. Because once you get in that room with that person, it's your word and her word. And you know, and we all men, we all know that even if she comes in, she says she wants it, you about to do it, she says no, that's it. But we don't know that, you know, we don't know that's what happened. That's the hard thing with Kobe.
Even if she comes in that room and doesn't do nothing and just walks in and walks out, she still can say, he touched me, he raped me, he did this, he did that. Now it's a woman versus a man, and who they're gonna believe? They're gonna believe the woman. I mean,
what happened in that? And in that case, buddy, what happened at the end of that? Did he pay her off, or what happened? I don't remember the end of it.
Well, I think there was a settlement, but even then, Kobe said that he may have misconstrued this. Something he thought was consensual may not have been. But even then, things can change, and as you hear, things can change in a heartbeat. Because somebody can say yes all the way through, and then say no, and then
that's it.
You know, you got to stop.
But let's get on one player. Let's get on one player who's still playing professional ball, who was known to rape 4 girls and pay them all, was Ben Roethlisberger. But guess what? Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. It was a big thing when it happened, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, Ben raped the girl. Ben raped 4 girls, and blah blah blah." But guess what? He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, but that's white privilege, man.
It is. He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He's gonna be one of the greatest quarterbacks in Steelers history. He's gonna get all the praise of Canton that you cried. And guess what? Ray Rice is now came get a job in the NFL.
But Ray Lewis is in the Hall of Fame. Let's be honest. Ray Lewis is in the Hall of Fame. Not everybody's gonna be like Aaron. Not everybody's gonna be like Aaron Hernandez and face their crimes. But 2 people.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron Hernandez, 3 people. Aaron Hernandez killed 3 people, and Ray Lewis. Either he killed them or he knew what happened and hid the evidence, because there's always the story of the missing white suit.
Jamal Lewis. Guess what? He was a kingpin. He was selling drugs while he was playing NFL.
I mean, that wasn't like Sam. Now that it was minor stuff. The Sam Hurd thing. Now that was a huge drug thing because he was just while playing with the Cowboys and things like that, and all this and all. That's a whole. There's a whole bunch of ridiculousness. That again, that's an example of we as fans allow professional athletes a pass when they do certain things. It doesn't matter, and we believe me. And there is that whole discussion that you can get in the whole white privilege discussion, and that could probably be true in certain circumstances, in certain cases. But athlete privilege, celebrity privilege. Because think about this: if there was an average person of no matter whatever color, and they did something, and a celebrity did it, the celebrity's getting off. Yeah. The celebrity's getting off. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter.
Look at the girl from Full House, and her daughter's going to Georgetown or GW, and guess what?
Oh yeah, Aunt Becky. Yeah,
and guess what? She went to jail, and then had the nerve to ask the judge, can her husband get out of jail to go to Mexico for a business trip? Let me go to jail and ask the judge, can I go for a business trip? See what happens. Well, sir, I'm trying to settle this deal. And I was wondering if I can get a privilege to go to Mexico for a weekend to close this deal. Can I get a privilege? They're gonna tell me no. But she got approved to go to Mexico to approve her deal and then come back to the jail. I was lost.
I don't think Bill Cosby can get privilege to make another pudding pop commercial.
It's like the new Coke. It'll be around forever.
Forever. The only thing that upsets me about that whole situation, seriously, is a couple things. But for one, we gotta look at the fact of this. I'm not saying this right, so I don't want nobody to get offended. If you're watching this, I don't want you to get offended at all. But let's be real. During that time frame of the 60s and 70s, drugs was a major part of everything. Cocaine, weed, you name it, it was you, right? Second of all, I'm once again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it, but my thing is, why is a underage girl at the Playboy Mansion? Third of all, Bill Cosby said that the girls came there and offered to do things to get where they were, but nobody looks at that. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but everybody knows what you do at the Playboy Mansion. It ain't you playing Scrabble, Pinochle, spades, backgammon. You're
a man though, man. You got morals.
That's my thing, Tom. My thing is you are the man. You have your own. So you cannot be putting yourself in that.
You got morals,
and if you know she's underage,
like you said, something goes down.
But the question is, do we know that he knew?
That's what I'm saying. You as a person, you know who you are. You just can't put yourself in that state. Like you got to be more like everybody's on you, and yes, everybody may be doing it, but you never know what's going to happen in the future. And so, like, man, as a man, you got to be like, yo, like, I know it's what goes on, but if you're like, we can't be doing that, like, I can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
But here's my thing. I remember a couple years ago, they did an interview with Magic Johnson, the whole cheating
thing. Yeah.
And he said, I'm not condoning what I did in my actions. What I'm saying to is look at the lifestyle I'm living. He said, I go to a hotel. In that hotel, there could be 100 women in the lobby.
You're right.
Out of that 100 women, 50 of them get upstairs to the elevator. Out of that 50, maybe 25 of them get up to the penthouse where I stay. Out of that 25, maybe 5 of them actually get
to the door
or in the room already. So it's.
I can never imagine it because we're, like Tom said, we're normal. So we would never be in a situation where there are 100 beautiful women who are rushing at us. And so, it's, yeah, you're right. And also as a man, it's hard to be like, yo, all y'all got to go. You know what I'm saying? That's hard, but you don't, on the other end, you don't want these kind of things, because out of those 100, maybe 25 that are like, yo, if something goes down tonight, I'm going to the cops and I'm getting that money. You know what I mean?
I mean, like I have like my 2 girls, and I'm teaching them, saying stuff young, because I'm like, I got to start now compared to later. Saying before the streets get them, or whatever.
Yeah, you know when the streets get you.
Correct. No, but I'm just saying, like, once the streets get a hold of your children, it's kind of hard to get them back.
Male or female, yeah. Listen up, buddy, because you might be
right.
So having to do this,
bro.
So I say that when I say things, I look at it from both perspectives of being a father and also being a human being, and probably being a father overwhelms that part. Probably is higher than the other part, the human part, because I have daughters. But at the same time, when my mental thought and thinking is higher than that, because I'm like, I gotta stay educated on things. I gotta look at it from both views. I gotta look at it from
the reality of the situation.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like like if Morgan came up to me when she's like 18 years old and she's like, Daddy, I want to wear this, and it's like showing everything, and when she's like, well, I'm a woman, I should be able to wear this, and I'll tell her, you know what, in some world that might be okay, but you as my daughter, you going out like that, I know that some dude may come and try you. And you're right. It may be you should have the right to wear what you want to wear. But me as your father,
and she got a crazy godfather. So
me as your father, I don't want some dude to try to come up and test you because he sees you what you're wearing and thinking it's a little easy. And you're right. It shouldn't be like that, but that's the reality. I'm trying to protect you.
My wife tells my daughter that all the time. Like, you don't see me out in the street dressing and exposing myself. You don't see me jerking provocative how you see these girls on TV or how you see maybe a video or something. You don't see me dressing like that. And people will call you out by the way you dress and carry yourself, because even though you're not that, it's the assumption that you are like that.
And you're right. It's not right. People should judge you by your character and all that stuff. You're right. But man, like as your protector, I don't want you to feel that feeling of someone, coming on to you like that strictly because they see you as an objective, figure, a physical figure, and they see you, thing that they shouldn't be seeing. The whole Amber Rose slut walk thing. It was like, in a fairy tale, well, you can walk out with bra and panties and nobody see anything.
Yeah.
I know in Southeast DC or anywhere, but like that, somebody gonna try you.
But at the same time, we gotta look at Cam Newton. He married a DC stripper from stadiums and his baby mom, and she was dressing provocative, and he married her.
And see that's the whole thing. That's the whole celebrity and all that stuff, in which he got bodyguards.
But I also want to say this. Think about this. There's also this thought that, again, if we had sons and we tell them, you act like you have some sense, and with the whole thing is that why should it be that we have to tell our daughters to be careful when it should be tell our sons that act like a man. Don't do that stuff, because that's the other thing. The door swings the other way. It always like we put the onus on women as opposed to men should know better and to control themselves and not be. It's just like it's like when you hear about what's the name of the previous Vice President Pence, when he's like he can't be in a room with a woman by himself. Just because he feels like that's their problem. You can't control yourself. That's a problem that you have to deal with. That's a issue, not her.
That's true. That's true. But I have a daughter. I don't have a son. Like Tom will tell his son that, like, hey, yo, if a girl says no, that means no. Like, but I have a daughter. I can't. So I can look at it from that point of view. Like, if we have another child, or buddy, you may have you don't know what you're gonna have yet, girl or boy. You can have these conversations too. And it takes a whole different. It's a whole different view when you see that little person. They got your eyes, they got your ears, they got your lips, they got everything, and you know that somebody in the future may try to, do some harm to her, so you have to be unapologetically real in some things, because you as a man, we as men, we know how men are. It don't take a lot for a man to see a girl, she can have on leggings and he see everything.
I mean, but you also think about this. Hey, pedophiles will go after boys or girls. Think about it. It don't matter. Like I said, somebody's probably got a relative that you shan't. You just like was it D.L. Hughley talking about? You went off Uncle Johnny. Don't let him go off with Uncle Johnny, and then all of a sudden, oh, you got molested. Just shake it off. Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that. Hey, don't. They say don't normalize Uncle Johnny being a pedophile. No, Uncle Johnny needs to get his stuff together.
I tell you, like growing up and when I was a counselor for the PACE program at UMS, I tell you right now, man, I heard so many stories, man.
PACE program, I forgot about that.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, like hearing the stories, and you're sitting there like talking to somebody, and they're really like putting their heart out, and they're like, man, I went through a lot, and I've experienced this, and this is like my eyes look like really, like whoa, but. Like I said, man, I guess that's why God didn't give me a boy, man. I mean, I
not yet.
Nah, we done, baby. Ain't no nah. But my thing is, like, I feel like if I don't raise my kids, if I don't raise them correctly, despite of whatever I did in my past or whatever, I got to raise them the correct way. I can't let my judgments and decisions jeopardize their lifestyle and their life and them coming up and being better than me, their mother, or anybody else. I gotta raise them correctly. Me and my wife always say, if anything ever happened, I'm still gonna be a father and I'm still gonna be a protector because I gotta be. I can't let my children be affected by decisions. I can't.
That's a good thing now, of us being parents is that we can sit back and look at the things that we did, and so we can kind of give a different we can kind of give that perspective too, because ain't nobody perfect, but yeah, man, like I'm telling you, buddy, you're gonna look at the world totally different, once that little one come,
How much longer you got?
December 28th is when they're due.
All right.
Whoa.
All right.
He said, "Hey, you having twins?
You having twins?
Oh no. No. It's only one. We're just not sure yet until that's why we're going there. We're gonna go with real. Here's the thing, and we're gonna go with the pronoun he or her. If it's a boy, if it's a girl, it don't matter. But it's till we know it's just one. We know it's one. I was joking it'd be funny if it were twins, then that we get the two kids out of the way. But it's not going to be that easy. So one, but yeah, the child is due December 28th. It feels like you have to use different pronoun. I'm not getting that whole thing, and I'm not trying to use that term, but I'm just saying like we don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, and we'll find out come August, and then December. That's when the work. I guess the work begins December 28th, which good news, tax benefits, I assume. That's what everybody talks about. Taxes.
Remember one thing. You got
like a little man.
You got a lot of uncles that always got your back, always giving you suggestions, help you out. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel afraid to ask questions or anything like that from us three or anybody,
Yeah, I'm gonna ask if you all guys got some old baby clothes too, because that might be the other thing.
I don't think you have any baby clothes.
I got some, man. No worries.
Oh, Tom said he got some.
I got some, man. I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that's the thing now. But now you guys are gonna probably be using y'all's soon too, because yours is 3 days before ours is. So
yeah, we'll see, man.
Christmas baby, and that's the one thing we've already come up with. This. My wife's birthday was in late December, and the problem is you get stuck in that little area after Christmas. It's like the biggest thing is people, and birthday parties. The biggest thing we already said we're just gonna do the baby's birthday parties in January because this way you don't get caught up with the holidays. Well, it's a whole new year. People aren't doing anything in January.
That's gonna work a while. Because my wife's birthday is December 3rd. She doesn't want her presents on Christmas. She wants her presents on her birthday and then Christmas.
Yeah, my mom's the 16th, and we got to do
my
the
dad
16th, and we got to do the 25th.
It doesn't work. It works for a little bit, but then, yeah.
Yeah, Thomas, we're lucky because we got a birthday and a month that really outside of Valentine's Day, there isn't anything else. It's not what somebody's gonna go get somebody a President's Day present. Nobody's gonna do that.
Man, our birthday is in the shortest month, so everybody just forget about it.
Oh, y'all got February birthdays?
Yeah, exactly a day after. I'm the 18th. I'm a day younger.
Yep,
19th.
Yep, he's the 19th. I'm the 18th.
Oh man, yeah, all these years I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, like I knew it.
I don't know.
Yeah, like February, like in our high school class, there's a whole bunch of people born in February. That whole month was like full of February people.
Like
it was only like 80 people in our class.
Me and my wife, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. Like when I say we don't even do the whole thing because like every day is Valentine's Day. Every day is
brownie points.
No, but I agree.
No, but like we don't like going all out. Like you see how people, and I'm not knocking anybody who does, but I see people going all out, spending. I'm like, we do this every day. I do this every weekend. I do this every month. Why do I have to have one day where I show my love and affection, attention? Why? Why is it gotta be one day? But that's just me. That's just us. We don't celebrate. We just don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I get our bear. I get our bear every year. You know what I'm saying? That's or I get her like some candy, like some, the candy when it go on sale. I get her that.
December 15th. I mean February 15th. But here it's sort of like Christmas. We don't. Holiday season. We don't have a tree or anything because again, really, as a grown adult, you can buy whatever you want. So Christmas can be any day you want. But for kids, if you don't have kids, it doesn't mean much. We're gonna have to figure that out now. But even then, they're not gonna be born until after Christmas, so it still won't matter. It's for the nieces and nephews at this point right now. But
but in 2 years, you have a Christmas tree. I got a Christmas tree, and you got Santa coming down the chimney, everything.
I got nieces and nephews. I can't get everybody.
I mean, it's gonna be one of them Charlie Brown trees. We're gonna have.
I'm telling you, buddy. I'm telling you, when them kids come home, they're like, "Daddy, where our tree at?"
Yeah. It's coming. Yeah.
No, I might just do like Festivus and just do the metal pole and just airing of grievances and
you say that down.
Probably
Tom can tell you, Tom, your son when Christmas time comes, he go crazy, don't he?
Man, so here's the thing with me, man. My son, I told him like there's no Santa Claus, bro. So he knows like it's me that's getting this stuff because I mean it's to go deeper for me because like I just don't believe in telling them a lie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it is like what it is. I mean, Santa is me. You know what I mean? I buy these gifts. Me and his mother do it, and we go to church. But like as far as a white guy coming, I told him if you see any white guy coming down our chimney, thank God in Florida we don't have that. But if any white guy come up to the door, you let me know so I can shoot him.
I mean, like me and my wife
with a bag, he's gonna take you instead of bringing you gifts.
For years, I was a strong believer in letting a kid be a kid.
Nostalgia,
but my wife was raised differently, and she was told a long time ago there was no Santa Claus. So I had to change that whole reaction of my thinking because I'm like, you know what, my kids are getting older and they can handle the truth. So we sat them down and we told them, I'm Santa Claus. Daddy's Santa Claus. Daddy puts on the suit. Well, there is no suit. Daddy gets your gifts. But I tell them also, don't spoil another child's. Don't do that. Like, me telling you something is between us and the family, but you don't go to school and be like, "There's no Santa Claus." There's no. You don't. You
respect others.
You respect others because they may feel like there's a Santa Claus. They could be 13, 14 years old. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a certain age until I think it was one Christmas. I woke up and I looked out the window and I see my mom and them bringing bikes out the car and gifts and stuff. And I'm sitting there like. Yeah, even when I told my wife, babe, come here. My wife can tell you right now. So we told our children, and my youngest was still like, so Santa Claus is real or not real? I'm like, no, Kenny, not real. And she still was like, so is he still coming or he's not? She didn't get it, comprehend totally. And I say that my oldest understood it, and she kind of knew a little bit, but she didn't want to spoil it. She didn't want to say nothing. So when we told her, my oldest got it, my youngest didn't, and yeah.
I you know what, and I go to this angle, and it's the same thing we talk about pro wrestling in movies. You know, like I always said, I never knew Die Hard was based on a true story.
Yeah.
It never was.
Yeah.
It never was. It never was. It was just based off a book. But it's just the point that you never burst. Like, remember, people were crying when Black Panther got Thanos snapped, like Thomas did in his stand up one time. The Thanos snap. That it was basically all the black characters. But I mean, here's the thing, and that's the whole thing. You get into that line where, when it comes to certain things, you don't want to burst anybody's bubble.
Right.
And it's honestly, you know, one, you don't want to be a cynical person,
right,
but you don't want to burst other people's bubble. It's just I go with the whole line of wrestling. Like what you like, but don't be a dick about it. That's all it is. Just you know,
like I still want to do Pal P Productions one day, but I probably never do it.
No, sure.
Not as long as you're married. Not as long as you're married. Not as long as you're married.
You can do it on a smaller scale, like he said. I mean, it just be you and your wife. Y'all can have you the starring roles, but then y'all have to switch and come up with other names and stuff. Disguises. Or you can just be monogamous, man. If that's your thing.
If that's your thing.
Like my wife, bro. Like she got a sister that looks just like her. I might get confused.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, I was gonna ask you this because this is one thing as parent. So let's say your kid comes to you down the road and says, "I want to be a brain surgeon." What's the first thing you say to him?
I'm gonna let them know that you can do anything that you want to do. However, there will be some stipulations because of your race. There will be some walls that you got to climb over. There's some walls you got to knock down. If you want it, go get it. But don't let me, anybody else tell you can't go do it or can't get it, because at the end of the day, you'll know how much you want to put out, how much you want to do, and everything like that. You will know what you want in life. And and then later on, like you may change your mind. You may want something else. But if you're gonna go for it, I support you. I'm behind you. Go for it. That's what I'm gonna tell my kids. Like when they get, when they get to that point, just like college. When they get older, when they go to high school, I'm like, listen, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to go to the service? Do you want to start working? Do you want to
trade school?
Do you want trade school? Do you want to go to job corps? Do you want to go what's your game plan? Like that's my whole thing. What's your game plan? Because if you got a game plan, you got a mentality of what you want to do, I'm gonna support you. Now if you sit here and talk about I don't know, and always like 3 or 4 years now we gotta have a talk again. Because I'm gonna be like, listen, you're not 18 no more. Now you're 21, 22 years old. What's your guidance? What's your route? Because now it's like you're going around a circle instead of picking a destination.
Yeah, I remember being in UMES, and then Dr. Satchel, the dean of the art department, he sat us all down. He was like, "Okay, this is what you guys want to do. You got to understand. You got to be like Michael Jordan in this. You got to eat, sleep, breathe it." So if she says she wants to be a brain surgeon, understand that it ain't gonna be easy. Nope. And if you want to do it, you have to, study. You gotta notice what you want to do in life, because being a brain surgeon almost means that your life is on somebody else's time. Mm-hmm. When they call you and they're like, "Hey, we need you to come in because somebody's about to die," wherever you at, you got to go. So you got to take things into consideration and understand that you got to work at it. You got to be good at it.
Yep.
Because if not, then why are you doing
it? Thomas, how about you?
I'm with my two fellas over here, man. I believe you definitely should encourage, I would never tell my son like he can't do he like something is out of his grasp, you know what I mean? Because as long as you got air in your lungs and you breathing, man, you should be able, you can do anything you want. The only person that can stop you, honestly, is you.
It's yourself.
I mean, people can say what they want. It's up to you to listen to them. I think at the time, the great Tyler Perry said, "It's not what they call you." But he said it as Medea. But I listened to him when he said it. He said, "It's not what people call you; it's what you answer to."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, whatever you want to do, man, you can only stop you. You can only be that force. Your biggest enemy is when you look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna have racism or whatever. You're gonna have people that's gonna tell you can't do this, you can't do that. At the end of the day, it's your decision. You know what I mean? You are the master of your fate. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah, I definitely believe in encouraging, man. And like, if he wanted to be a pilot in aviation, if he wanted to be a fighter, you know what I mean? If he wanted to go into boxing, if he wanted to be like, into service, or if he wanted to go to college, I would tell him, my experiences, but mine gonna be different from him, because you know what? That's why we're now all tethered together. He's his own individual. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna have to walk a path on his own. You know what I mean? Opposed to me, my life is different structured than he is. You know what I mean? He's lucky and blessed enough to have a father when I didn't. You know what I mean? So the things that I went through, he will never understand. You know what I mean? There's some things that he's going to go through that I don't understand. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, like, so sorry, I kind of got off track, but yeah, I would definitely, encourage him, if he wanted to be whatever he wanted to be, of course. Absolutely.
And my thing, I would say, yeah. Be the best at what you're going to be. Always have a backup plan just in case it doesn't work out too. That's the other thing, because life happens. Weird things happen. You never know. Some people have to alter their life because a parent gets sick or something and you had to take care of them. Or if, like, for example, if you're an only child and the parent gets sick and there isn't another sibling they can rely on or other family members, sometimes you have to curtail stuff, and which is unfortunate, but those things end up happening sometimes.
Look at prime example. Look at Tyler Perry. And I'm glad you said Tyler Perry, Thomas. Look at Tyler Perry, remember? He was homeless, living in a car, had no money at all, nothing. And he was determined to get out of that state that he was in. That's determination and will, man. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you look at it. It's determination and will, because it was like, I don't want to stay in this state. Like, we all get to our lowest points, and we always get to our highest points. But the thing is, life is about lessons. Life is about growing. It's about changing. It's about maturing. And my thing is, he wanted something better for himself. And I believe he has children. I think he does. I'm not sure, but I think he does have children. But he wanted something more for his children. And that's the same what we are right now. Us four men right now. How we grew up, where we grew up, coming from the shore. Now we moved out. We got our own houses. We're married. We got things going for ourselves, and it's just like we want more for our children and for our families, for ourselves.
No, go ahead, Korey. I'm my fault. I was listening to you.
That's just like Christmas time, like my birthday. Prime example, my birthday. My wife, she argues with me so much because I grew up not having a birthday party. I grew up not asking anything for my birthday. I never had a birthday party, but I never really asked for anything for my birthday or Christmas. I never really had. When I was younger, I used to circle the little Toys R Us books and stuff like, hey, we all did, I'm pretty sure, but I never really asked for stuff. My wife always told me, you need to pick something. You need to think about what you really want. And it's hard for me sometimes because I never grew up like that. So now, with my children, I ask them, like, what do you want? They'll tell me what they want, and I go get it. As long as it's in, yeah. But I tell them all the time, like, I didn't grow up like that. I had to work for mine. And now I teaching them, me and my wife are teaching them the same thing, to save money, not spend all your money, not not trying to stay up with your friends and let them use you, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Thomas knows my situation growing up, and he never ever judged me. He never ever looked at me differently. He was there for me. He supported me. He knew when I was down. He knew when I was up. But he always checked on me to make sure I was good. And I tell him all the time, I never can repay you for that, bro, because like you were there for me more times when I was dealing with my situations and stuff like that, and going through what I was going through. Just being there. And then all y'all, man, Kristian, you already know, me and you riding together, talking, you and me, us, and Earl.
You and me, yes. Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
I can never repay y'all for the times that I was going through things, and I look at us now, like I said, as forefathers or a father to be, and I'm like, we're better than what we were growing up.
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
It's not that we're better than anybody else. Not that we're bragging. We're not bragging. And I hate when people are like, "Oh, you bragging." I'm not bragging at all. I'm telling you my story. I'm telling you my lifestyle. I'm telling you my change. I'm telling you how you can go from where you at to where you can be at.
Well, that's the thing. Like we're at places now where our kids would never understand. I could probably never understand Snow Hill, or never understand, growing up in that, that area. You know what I mean? Like all of us live in I live in Laurel, Korey lives in Waldorf, Tom is in Florida, Earl's in Delaware. Each of us are like, in city suburb, basically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So our kids are going to grow up in metropolitan, suburban areas. So they're not going to, unless we, keep going, taking them to the shore and, all that stuff. They're not really going to understand the lifestyle that we had growing up, and which made us like we will be different from most dads that our kids know. You know what I mean?
Talked about the stove.
Yeah, no, I got you. And that's the one thing. It's like, and that's the one thing I think, and it's more of a maturity thing. It's like you said, like Korey saying, people say, "Oh, you think you're better?" No, it's the fact that I'll go back to this. Matthew McConaughey did when he won his Oscar. He talked about, I wanted to be better than I was this time a day ago, this time a week ago, this time a year ago, this time 5 years, 5 years later. Because sometimes self-improvement is a thing. Because some people will use that excuse to not get better. Some people will be complacent where they are. And, time is a great equalizer. That's always saying, if we ever have our class reunion, whenever that will probably never be, the perfect time, that'll be a perfect example of it. That will be you will see. Yeah, you will see. Time will be a great equalizer, because and the cynical version of me a few years ago would have said, I would have gone back just to see who became a failure and who turned out to be gay. Now I would just say, hey, we've gotten older, we've gotten mature. It's good to reconnect with people.
Yeah.
And if people still act the same way that they did 20, 21 years ago, that they've really learned nothing. They've really learned nothing at all. So that's the one thing. And that's my whole opinion. I went from a jaded view of it, I guess a more jaded, chaotic view of it, to more like, okay, let's see. And like I said, there's a certain point after 20 years, you can't let bygones be bygones over some stupid stuff we did as kids. That is a problem. You got to let it go.
But I'm going to say something, Earl, man. I'll be honest, man. Like sometimes, man, when you young, I know, like when you young, you sometimes, man, you do something to somebody that's so traumatic, like they can't forget. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like that. I know when we was young, man, I'm pretty sure I've said some things, man, myself, that I'm not proud of, you know what I'm saying? Like to either one, or maybe you guys or something. I may have offended somebody, you know what I mean? Said something, and God deals with everybody differently, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's scars you wear, and as you get older, you start to realize, like, yo, man, like I may have hurt this person, and I didn't know, I mean, what others may thought, I got people to laugh with, or whatever the case may be, jokes or whatever. That person may not have found it as funny. You know what I mean? They probably, that self-conscious thing that they had to deal with. So sometimes you go through something like you say, like, you like to see like how whoever turned out, whatever, but like you go through something yourself. You're like, well, damn, man, this is crazy, man. Cause I remember doing that situation to that person, and now the joke's on me. You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta sometimes just be humble, for real, man. You gotta be humble and be thankful for the friends you got, the loved ones you got, because, man, at the end of the day, man, like, like to be how I want to say, like, you just gotta learn to, like, what I mean, to love who you supposed to. I don't know how I want to say it, man. I just know, like, it's like you say, it comes full clips. You know what I mean? Like, it just all comes back to you. in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Whether, hey, you know, I made fun of somebody because of the way they look. Well, guess what? Shit, I'm bald now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know you said Thomas had
I'm like I said, I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not trying to laugh.
But no, you know what I'm saying? I'm
the way you
bald
said
now.
it.
You know what I mean? I'm bald now. Or like, you know, thank God I ain't struggling with weight problems or nothing like that. But like, but like me, like, you know, like it's just, you just never know. You know what I'm saying? You always want to treat people good, man. That's the moral I'm trying to get at. You always want to treat people good. You know what I'm saying? Because like it all comes back to you. And I would teach my son the same thing. I would hope, you know, I know you guys are gonna do that. You know what I mean? Because you guys are good, strong brothers, man. So, you know, just always tell people to get, you know, to treat them with respect, man. You know what I mean? Even if the hand isn't shown toward you, you know what I'm saying?
But I feel like back in the day, our parents used to tell us that. Like, I know my mom used to tell me the same thing when I was a kid. And I'd be like, okay, you know, like you never know how, you know, like, you know, you talk about people now, you never know how life's going to treat you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, most people that I see, you know, in my town, in law, you know, I see them on the corner, you know, panhandling for money. You know, you see him, Korey, in DC. You know, I see him in DC and Baltimore. You know, we all just a paycheck or two away from being there. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
So, yeah. So it's like, you know, I'll tell mine, you know, just like we'll tell ours, you know, you got to treat people with kind of respect because, like you said, universe, karma, God, whatever you believe in, can bring you right down, just as quick.
I feel like the arguments that, well, not even argument. I feel like the disagreement that we had was part of our growth. It wasn't. I feel like it wasn't like, okay, like it wasn't to the point where we stopped talking to each other totally. Like we still recognize each other. We still seeing each other. Like what's good, blah blah blah. But just like any family, any brothers or sisters, you're gonna have disagreements. You're gonna have arguments. It's how you work them out. And look at this, to this very day, we're still, even though we live in different parts of the United States,
of the country, yeah,
we're still.
And we're just on the East Coast,
right? We're still.
It was a long drive to get to town, though.
Right, but my thing is like even when when I went down to Florida, I didn't realize how far Thomas was still from me when I was in Florida.
I'm way down.
Right. He was like, bro, I'm just like another 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, oh man,
I'm
like
Miami
15, 19 hours. But my thing is, I always reached out. Kristian, you know, me and you, we still get up for breakfast sometime, and
we need to do that. You get it more often.
Earl, I tell myself, you know, and I told Kristian a long time ago, like, you know, saying I had to grow out of that. I guess holding grudges. I guess because the way I was raised, the way I was, stuff like that. I experienced it a lot with my family, some things. And I had to get out of that whole thing. And I told Kristian a long time ago, like I love all three of y'all, man. Even B, even Dante, you know what I'm saying? Like we were in our own little clique.
World. We're in our own little world, man.
Right, your own little world. So my thing is, like, even when we were at UMS, man, like the hardest thing was, you know what I'm saying, like, I mean, Earl, you were in a different summer program than me, Kristian, and Kristian Thomas. So it was like, you know what I'm saying, like, when I got there, like, my mom asked me the one question. She was like, so who you going to be roommates with? And I'm like, I guess whoever gets there first.
And I got there last.
Yeah.
I never get that.
Because she asked me, and she was like, well, you and Thomas are close. You know, Kristian's close. You're Earl. And I was like, well, Earl's in the program. She was like, so who you going to be roommates with? And I said, whoever gets there first, I'm going to be roommates with. And it was Thomas.
Yeah.
But that would have been a hard decision for all three of us anyway, because if Kristian got there first, now Thomas got a different roommate. If I got there last, now you and Kristian roommates, you know what I'm saying? It still would have been like, oh man, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But
I think we just, you know, we went through what most, like, Heather has friends that I met when I first met her. And I'm like, okay, that's your crew, you know, that's your friends. But then, like, you know, maybe a year or so into our relationship, she's like, oh, this is so-and-so. And like, she's my best friend. Like, she said she's my best friend because no matter how less we talk, once we see each other, we are sisters, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of like that. To me, that's the real test of friendship. It's not how much you see the person, but when you do see the person, the love is like it was the day you stop, the day before you stop talking for a long period of time for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
I remember when I drove home to see Thomas when he was like he's coming home, bro. I made it my priority. I was like, bro, I gotta go see my brother. And everything, even our little disagreements, all that went out the door, man. It was just the fact of seeing my brother, man. Like, somebody I trust my life, somebody that I will go to war with. It was like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Even with Kristian, I can see you, and I can tell Earl, I gotta get to see you. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But
we all got to get together, man. Like,
right, we all got to get together. But
like,
we gotta do an Orioles. We can do like an Orioles game one day. I mean, whenever Thomas is up. Yeah. Well, it's cheaper to go to Orioles game. It's cheaper to go to Orioles game.
Red Sox.
Well, whenever you guys are ready, let me know. I'm over Marriott hotels.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Oh, the hookup. Yeah. All right, Tom. Yes.
You just let me know. We can go anywhere you want. Puerto Rico, Bahamas, whatever. Y'all just let me know.
It was like Brian with all the Hilton honors stuff. It was like Brian with the Hilton stuff. It's funny.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Yeah, it's funny. You were just talking about that, Korey. If you hadn't seen, or Kristian, you guys were talking about it. Seen people in a while. I just talked to Chris Jenkins Wednesday. I spent like 3 or 4 hours on the phone with him, just talking to him. I haven't physically talked to him probably in a good year and a half. But it's like people you haven't seen and reconnect with. It's just crazy because
I haven't seen.
And like I said,
I haven't seen B in years.
I see Brian. I see Brian like every other weekend or something. I see Brian every other weekend. Either we're going to a game or he's up there or we're down in Salisbury. It's like I see Brian. I feel like I see Brian and Jeff all the time. So
you lucky. I don't see nobody, man. Frank, my homeboy Frank came down for my wedding.
Yeah, I know Frank.
Frank, a real good friend of mine too, man. Real good dude, man. Came to the wedding. Korey, I wish you guys could have came. It was kind of a last minute thing because all of ours
were like last minute things.
Yeah, I was dodging that bullet.
I was like,
all of our weddings were last minute things.
Yeah. Because I got married first.
When did you get married?
I got married June 18, 2009.
Oh, okay, yeah. Way early, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
For real? Man.
Yeah, I'm ducking, bro. I was ducking for a long time. It just so good happened though, man. She was her parents. And Spanish people, man, they like, oh, you like my daughter? Well, you're gonna have to marry her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like one of them things, man. So like, I was like, okay. So she,
For me, like, and I tell guys this whenever they talk to me about marriage. I tell them, well, like, don't wait. And it's crazy because my father told me, but I still didn't listen. Don't wait till the perfect time. I was trying to wait till the perfect moment. And my dad was like, I remember one time, the night before, I got up the nerve. My dad was like, so when is that time? And I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I don't know. He was like, nah, he said, you won't ever know. Like, she ain't with you for the money. She ain't with you because on some petty stuff. She's with you because she loves you. So all the money that that you think you need to put on this lavish wedding that you think she wants, that's not it. She wants us to marry you. And so it was like, ding, you know what I mean?
Me and my wife got our house that week. That Thursday, after we moved in the house, we went to the Justin Peace. Like, I went to the courthouse, got the license. We got married that Thursday. On Thursday, it was that quick. It's never a right time. Like everybody say that. I want the perfect wedding. Let's be real. At every wedding I've ever been to, there's always something that you wish you'd done, wish you did. So it's never a perfect wedding because there's always something you leave out.
And the great thing about it, the perfect wedding is when you do it. You know what I mean? Yep. That's the perfect. Like we set up a date. We said we're gonna do it on this date. Then we got reservations to FOCO, and we were like, we're gonna let everybody come to FOCO. And that to me, was like, to me, that was the best day of my life. And then the family down the shore was like, oh, we gotta do something. So then my mom and them were like, we're gonna do something down the shore too. And me and Helen were just looking at a picture from that day a couple of days ago, and she was like, "Man, I was so happy that day." And it didn't take $10,000. It didn't take Cinderella horse and carriage. You know what I mean?
It took $85.
Well, for a fuck over a little more $85.
Well,
$85.
Like I said, we had a little help at an in-law's house, and it turned out pretty good. Yeah, and like I said, however it works, One more thing before I ask, we go this real quickly. I know we're eventually going to talk about R&B, but we'll, if we have enough time, we will. What led to you guys going to UMES, starting from Kristian all the way down?
Well, I got to go first.
Oh,
I'm going on the screen. We could go.
Okay.
I'll go first if you want me to, or whoever is ready to bite the bullet.
Crazy thing is, senior year, all right, I had a cousin that went to my older cousin, Danny, Chucky's sister. She went to Morgan. She's like the oldest grandchild. She went to Morgan. My cousin Keith, she went to Morgan. My aunt Maria went to Morgan. So my junior year, I'm like, okay, when I become a senior, I'm going to apply to Morgan. That whole senior year, I forgot all about Morgan. Like, I didn't even think about it. And so only one place I applied to was UMES. And my grandfather was a band director there before Lampkin. Mom and dad met there. So it was like, that's the perfect spot. And they had a good art program. And Mr. Hogan, the art teacher, was like, that's where I went. Now, when I got there, that was a whole, different thing. But yeah, it was based on family ties, money, and them having the program that I wanted. That was really a really good program. So yeah, that was it.
Korey, how about you?
For me, it was a couple of things. One was I had like a couple letters for football. So college called Tidewater. I think it's Bridgewater, Tidewater, something like that. I had a letter to Bowie, and I had a letter to Frostburg to play football. But my GPA wasn't high enough. I guess I didn't score high enough for the SAT. I don't know what it was. It was something. Can't remember exactly what it was.
Nobody does, yeah.
And then my mom was like, why don't you just go to UMES? She was like, matter of fact, I think she talked to your mom, Kristian, and then I was talking to Thomas, and I think Thomas wanted to go to you want to go to, was it Goucher or somewhere?
Frostburg.
Johnson and Wales.
Johnson and Wales.
Johnson Wales. I think it was Johnson Wales. Yeah, Johnson Wales. And I think when my mom talked to your mom, Kristian, she was like, well, Kristian's going to UMS. And then I was just like, well, I wanted to go to Bowie State. That's where I wanted to go originally. Yeah. But I changed my mind, went to UMS. When I found out that Kristian was going, then I think Earl said you were going. Then Thomas said he was going. And then it was just like Dante. I found out Dante was going. I found out Tasha said she was going. Shari said she was going. It was like a lot of people that I knew were going there. And it was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go.
Thomas, how about you? What led to you going to UMES?
One more thing. Plus my mom's sister, other sister, cousin, all family with UMES. So that also helped. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Thomas, how about you? What led to you going to UMES?
Ain't no real special reason. Actually, I wanted to go to Full Sail. I wanted to be in music producer. I wanted to make, obviously I wanted to do the beats and all that stuff.
Yeah, the PS2 joint beat machine.
I wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. The main reason why I went was obviously U4, man. I mean U3, man. I wanted to be near my brothers at the time. I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. When everybody started talking about college, I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to college, man, because I was at a point where I was like, I wanted to do music or barbering, because it was one of the two that I really thought I was, and I could still rhyme and everything. I'm still nice, man, but I wasn't like, I didn't think I was going to be like real big, and everything. But so I decided to go to UMES because of you guys, but also too, I had found out at the time my dad, which is totally wrong now, wrong information that was conveyed to me. He was into the hotel and restaurant stuff. So I was like, well, I guess I'll kind of walk his path to see, if I like it. Turned out I hate it with a passion. You know what I mean? That's why I'm my own individual. You know what I mean? So, but I went to school. I went there, with you guys, man. I got my degree and everything. But that's why I kind of look at it like I wish I could do it all over again because I would have never, I would have never done it, But it's because of y'all, man. Definitely, man.
That's one thing I wish I did. Got my degree. But it's never too late to go back and get it.
Yeah. Never too late.
But I agree with Thomas. When I found out that you three were going to UMS, it was like yeah, I'm going with my brother. It was like, yeah, for real. And I was just like, I was happy with my decision. I had a ball being around you guys, seeing you guys every day on the yard. We had our benches that we sat in front of Somerset, the library. We sat,
Carver it was Carver and the library.
Carver and Somerset, and it was we were all over. I mean, but then I think I think the whole fact that I was going to UMS, it helped us, but also hindered us a little bit. And I say that only respectfully because it's like we were all going in our different directions.
Yeah, I definitely admit I had drifted. I was going a completely different direction.
It wasn't that we weren't tight. It wasn't that we weren't caring about each other or well-being. Like I seen Thomas all the time. I always go to Thomas' crib, chill with him. I chill with Kristian. I see you, Earl. We chilled, but
life was pulling us in different directions.
Life was pulling, yeah.
And that's funny you said that, man, because I always wondered, what I mean, and like I always wonder, like, what would have happened if we all kind of pursued the music thing, like the group that we were in, and tried to make it bigger than what it was. You know what I mean? Like I always, it never sat good with me because I was like, you know what? Yeah, we had the little talent shows and all that stuff, but what if we all really, really got together and took it seriously?
But that's the thing, man. Like at that age, I don't think any of us. Maybe Earl.
But look at the opportunities we had, though. I mean, if you look at it now, if we did something like say we were like our younger selves now, well, you got the technology, you can go on YouTube and all this stuff, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, who would have known what we could have done?
I think the only person who took it seriously was Earl. I think all of us were like, it's just the thing to kind of let girls hear us. You know what I mean?
Y'all sang before me. Remember, y'all sang. Y'all did talent show before me, and then it was Miss Bivens that was like, "Oh, you ain't gonna sing with them," and I was like, "I'm gonna sing with y'all."
I think for me, I know for me, like personally, I didn't like singing was something I know I could do, but I really like. A lot of people don't know that I sing, like that we sing. Like even today, like I very rarely sing out loud. Like if I hear people walking on the street and they're yelling and singing, like I can never do that. You know what I mean? I always kept, for some reason or one or another, I always kept like my talents were very suppressed in some kind of way. You know what I mean? I wasn't really that serious about it.
And the funny thing is, and I always say that I would just, in random cases, most people didn't know I could sing until I decided, okay, maybe I'll do karaoke or something one time. But other than that, I honestly, it's funny. I just thought about that. And as much as I was in the student radio station, as much as we had access to all the mics and all the editing equipment, I was there all the time. I was sitting there. I was like general manager of the radio station senior year. So I like had all this access, but I'm like, hey.
I asked Mook one time, and I remember a long time ago, I was like, yo, could you help us to sing the Star Spangled Banner of the game? And I was like, I know you could have got us right. And I know
that to me was the most, like, I sang at a Star. I think I sang at a Decatur game. I think we played Decatur. Okay. And that was like one of the most terrifying things I ever did because I went. I got family in Berlin. Kanye King's family is all in Berlin. I went to school there. I remember my 8th grade year, I went to school there. So, like, I don't know if you remember, but I didn't sing to the people. I was like in the back where we got the balls from.
Yeah.
Singing back there. Like, and nobody knows me till I came out.
But you remember that time we went there for the gospel thing,
all kind of choirs.
But think about it. Thomas, we had like the whole auditorium was looking at us like, oh my God, like y'all sound so good together. Like,
what did we sing? I forgot. What
we were
was
singing, we said, Can You Sing the Rain? And we sang
that might be you guys. Because I might have probably backed out and left.
We sang As Yet. We sang last night.
No, I think no. Okay.
No. We sung Silk.
Lose Control. Yeah.
Well, that was that was at our talent show.
I'm talking about at Decatur.
Oh, then I wasn't there because I probably left early or something.
I know what you're talking about, Korey. I know what you're talking about.
We did Can You Sing in the Rain, and then
I didn't do that one.
It was Ivory from Berlin was like, can you sing another song? And I think that's when we sang As Yet. We sang a little part of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, last night. You know, we went to that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that song. Yeah, that's what I do. Like, Mark, 15 minutes.
I remember Thomas going, oh, I got it. 15.
15. No, I remember at the talent show when I think Tom and Brian Van, somebody.
And Earl. No, it was me and Earl.
Yeah, doing
Earl was singing Drew Hill.
Few other times. And like when he was like spoiling Reese's Pieces, this fool would take paper. I don't know where he got it from. He take paper.
But me and Earl sing at a talent show for the Pyramid. Remember in City?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember which song it was.
It was the conference. It was the Pyramid conference. It was
I'm trying to remember the song. I remember that. I just don't remember the song.
Was it Bill Withers?
No, it was Joe. It was Casey and Joe. It was Casey and JoJo's song.
I remember. Yeah, I wasn't there, man.
See, Kristian, when you talk about the Star Spangled Banner, honestly, that became my thing after a while. I did it at a Shorebirds game, and then I was like the go-to person for the Y-High games. Every time I was there covering a game, I did the anthem.
I was scared.
And honestly, and you always think about this: you can't be as bad as Carl Lewis. But that's all you have to remember.
Marvin Gaye. I think Marvin Gaye was high.
His version was the best.
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, I think Marvin was high as a kite with them glasses on, with aviator glasses. I mean,
and it's crazy. I just saw Frankie Lyman, the ooh-wah, and he fell out on the stage. I just was watching that, John, man.
Like when I did it at the Decatur, I thought my leg started shaking, and your knee starts to like go back and forth, and I was like, oh man, I'm about to faint in front of everybody.
The biggest thing is like knowing you can hit a key and hit a certain key. Make sure you don't go too far out.
A couple years ago, we talked about meeting up and singing. I remember a couple years ago we talked about that, and
the hardest thing.
I'm always down. I'm down for it, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
The hardest thing now, like my wife is always telling me, you need to sing more. I mean, she was like, you work too hard because you could be singing, but like it's hard for me to the whole TikTok stuff, and I see people singing on Instagram, and I'm like, man, you don't even sound good. And I'm like, oh, well, hold on, my baby about to go sleep, so I gotta give her a kiss. Mm-hmm. Come here, mama.
While Kristian's doing it, I'm thinking we easily can do that. I mean, like I said, I always think of, I saw one video. There was these high school boys, the black guys. They were singing in the bathroom. They were singing Pentatonics Can't Sleep Love, and it's like, man, these boys are good. They feel like that line from Come America, that boy good. And that's what I was thinking, like, even just little stuff like that. The problem in most music now sucks. I mean, you could probably take something and give it a retro vibe to it. And again, it's still not impossible. We could
everything
as long as we got Audacity and as long as we got Audacity and microphones, we can do anything.
But you remember on YouTube there was a group. Matter of fact, the one guy was on America's Got Talent. They did a video just like this and posted it to YouTube, and people were liking it. They were even near each other, and then it came together later on. But like my thing is, I think the hardest part would be is definitely one is just the time. Two will be our voices have changed a little bit.
I don't mind dramatically.
Yeah,
dramatically, bro.
Right. I'm more bass than singing than anything, but try to hit higher notes than what I could do. I can't do them like that no more. I probably can't.
That is the biggest thing I learned is sometimes the older you get, you can't hit it. Some people can't hit certain notes anymore. Weight gain will change it too. Or weight gain will change your breathing ability, the way you sing, and that is a huge thing too.
But we definitely, I mean, if y'all ever want to do it, something like that, I mean, I'm down. Like I said, definitely find the time and
like my mother has a group, Classic Soul, and I sing with her sometimes, and we're practicing something, and I'm like, yo, like, why is my voice like? I'm thinking I'm 18, you know, because I was 18, I was singing every day, 24/7. Now with baby and work, I may go, you know, I'm gonna have to remind myself, yo, you gotta like sing some more, and so like, you know, stuff that like, you know, Luther's, you know, never too much. Before I could like any day. Now I can, but it's like I gotta go, I gotta warm up and, you know, get my me's right, you know, that stuff, you know, but you know, it gets there, but it's not as easy as it was.
You know a song I always say we should do? Secret Garden.
Oh shit.
Who's gonna be the barge? Who's gonna be out the barge?
I can do I'll Be Sure. I'll be sure to probably pass it to Kristian.
Like I said,
we have
that's a hard voice to do. El DeBarge is hard to do, but hold on. Cisco and them just did
and it was trash. It was trash, man. It wasn't like compared to
the Silk version, because Silk did it too.
Oh man, we had this conversation 20 years ago in Tom's bedroom when we were trying to decide what song we sing with Tom's show. We were like,
correct.
Let's do Steve Garden. Earl was like,
nothing's ever changed. Like I said, I'd be all for like that one Boys and Men song I do.
Oh yeah, we tried that too. And music.
We
class.
just
and
weren't serious about it. We just weren't serious. Well, let's be honest. We weren't.
I swear, we can do that. But
let me be honest. Listen, I'm all for it. You know what? We each pick a song.
You know what, Thomas?
We each pick a song and we have our own choice.
Thomas, go ahead and hit it. Let me take all your clothes.
It's so stupid, man. I can't. No. I got bronchitis right now. I'm getting over, so I can't really.
Tom drank with John B.
Yes.
Like what song was that? Are you still down? Was
it I always like smooth cats though, man. Like John B. I like the Chico DeBarge. You know what I mean? I like that like Donnell Jones. I was a big Donnell Jones.
I love Don.
He wasn't even a powerful vocalist though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I just like the way they sang.
If it was a song, I'm gonna ask all three of us, or four of us. If you had to pick a song for us to pick, not even though we not agreed, it's what would I'll let Earl go first, Kristian and Tom, and then I'll say mine. But if you had to pick one song for us to sing together, what song would you pick, Earl? You go first.
No, you know what? I was thinking about this, and I still think no. I think Can't Sleep Love by Pentatonics. There's no way we couldn't do that.
I'm not a Pentatonics fan though, buddy.
Well, again, that's why you put your own spin on it. That's all it is. You got to put your own spin on it. We take just like this. You ever heard Lou Rawls' version of Wind Beneath My Wings?
Oh my God, no.
It is a better version than Bette Midler's all day.
Really?
All day. It is an all day better version.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I can't, like, our voices have changed so much.
Well, that's why we just got to get in and warm up. And that's another thing. Like you said, warming up is a very underrated thing. If you don't, I mean, we probably shouldn't have been singing without warming up all the time, because that significantly damages your voice, especially, doing impromptu, as I call it sometimes when it was around a bunch of white women. It's like all these impromptu minstrel shows. I ain't singing. I ain't singing for no scraps and coins, but that was my old thing. But yeah, like things like this, you got to warm up. You definitely have to warm up. You shouldn't be doing stuff off the cusp, because it's not very safe for your voice. Even when I was like doing stuff, telling the story, like I was performing, they actually had a band on a cruise ship, and I'm like, I was warming up as everybody was singing. I'm starting to silently go through my warm-ups, the scales and things like that, and I was ready. I feel like any other time I would not have been able to do that if I just randomly just did it off the top of my head, because it would have been Carl Lewis bad. That's all. It's Carl Lewis bad. That's the thing. Everything is now Carl Lewis bad.
You've been on Instagram.
Not for the best reasons.
What about you, Kristian?
I don't know, man, because there's not a lot of groups out. So like whatever we would sing, it would have to be older, because they ain't no, like, I know Earl had this on his agenda, but there ain't no groups out. So I mean, like our generation, it's weird. I sound old. Was like we're the last one to have like R&B groups. You know, Jagged Edge and 112, and Drew Hill. So
You had to say Jagged Edge, right? You had to say Jagged Edge. They're garbage compared to the rest of them guys.
I know, I do. I know they are. But a lot of people like them. I don't know why. I was never Jagged Edge fan, but yeah, man. Like I remember, man, like 112. Man, we were in college. What was that joint they had out? Was it not Player, but with the Sweet Love joint?
Oh, okay.
I want your body close. On top of it. That was a joint, yo. Can you feel it? Yeah, that was a joint. Yeah, we could do that one. Yeah, that's not a hard song.
What about you, Tom?
Man, like I'm with Kristian, bro. I don't things like it's just I don't even know, man. Like I don't know. The only thing I can think of is when everybody get, I guess, a little piece of something in it is like Ebony Eyes by Silk.
Oh, joint, that's my joint.
Yeah, like I mean, like, but like, who's gonna hit that note? I don't know, like, because I know,
now that one I can do. I can do that one.
Yeah, but like, nah, man, like everything is solo artists now, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I keep saying it before. I think like Jacob Lattimore is probably like my favorite solo artist out. With the stuff he does, but I mean, we don't have really nothing else to go by, man, unless we're going back to like the Delphonics or like Temptations or, groups, the 90 groups that we had, from the 80s to the 90s. Like, but who's in a group nowadays that's like singing real R&B?
Yeah.
No one is.
Exactly.
You have more pop groups, and you don't really see many pop groups anymore because they're ready to break them up. It's just like I say this: it's like wrestling tag teams. You have all these tag teams, and they're here to be just broken up. And then you get one person that gets stuck at the bottom, and everybody else rises to the top. That's how it always apparently felt like it has been.
Yeah. There are no R&B groups out. There are pop groups out. You got the K-pop stuff that the kids were in school that work at. Man, they in Howard County, man, they love K-pop. I can't stand it. But like that's the only like groups that are out. As a matter of fact, you guys should watch the documentary on Netflix called Pop Life, and it talks about Boyz II Men and the Boyz II Men effect, and how when Boyz II Men basically slid off because NSYNC and all them came and kind of took their style, and so basically there's no R&B group, but there are groups out there in the pop world that have taken the stuff that we can identify with, like, oh man, it sounds like Boyz II Men. Oh, that sound like you're trying to sound like Jodeci. So that's out there, but not like you got Silk. What's it? Silk Sonic? What's the joint with Bruno Mars? And,
oh yeah, okay. Now that actually, but I feel what you're saying, man, because that is like a callback for me when I hear that song. I'm like, oh shit, that sounds like some. Oh, excuse me, pardon my language. It sounds like, oh shoot, man, that's like some stuff that we grew up on, man. Silk Sonic. That sounds actually good, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But he's they're singers. And for some reason, the music business, they only want a certain amount of singers. The rest, everybody else is just eye candy.
Well, I just recently heard Raheem DeVaughn and Apollo Brown, which is like my favorite producer.
Okay.
They just did one called an album together because that's what he does. He collabs, but it's a real good album, man. It's called Love Struck.
But he's on that. He's on a Secret Garden.
Look it up, Kristian. Apollo Brown and Raheem DeVaughn, bro. The whole album.
Okay. Yeah,
I throw that out there.
He's on that. He's on that Secret Garden remix with them.
Yeah.
To me, man, Secret Garden is one of those songs, man.
I mean, we can do it. We can do it.
I'm talking about. I mean, like guys who are like out there in the realm of music business. That's
like Milestone.
Never be touched at all.
Milestone. Listen,
Milestone. I just thought about it.
That song.
There it is, Earl. You hit it, Earl.
I care about you. That is probably one of the best songs.
I'm
ever.
with that, yo. Yeah, I would be definitely with that. Earl hit that.
Milestone with Babyface and
and Casey and JoJo and was it Kevon Evans?
Kevon Evans. It was all Evans, the one that passed away too.
Yeah, all the
passed away.
I thought he pronounced it Kevon at one point.
Either that or The Best Man I Can Be by
with Genuine and Tyrese and them
and Earl. I remember. Yeah, that was a nice song. That was on that Best Man soundtrack, right? Yeah.
But I think Milestone would be a perfect song for us to sing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Listen to that. I didn't listen to that. Such a man. I forgot.
Oh,
Man, it's a good song, man.
I forgot a song.
I'm gonna start practicing.
That was the song. That was I thought I had it. I guess I didn't have it on the list. That was the song. That was like the only time you had a super group like that. Soul Food. Yeah. That's like the last. That's the only R&B super group I can think of. I know you mentioned Secret Garden, and it started clicking in my head. Wait a minute, what about Milestone? But I also thought 5 Steps. 5 Steps.
Yeah,
that was your joint to that was to you what 12 players to Korey. That's like your joint.
Yeah.
I mean, again, these are the times ain't that tough. I mean, again, like I said, maybe the mature voice it helps now. You know, sure we can't hit anything that we used to hit at 18, but that still doesn't mean that certain things you got to adjust. It's like, think about it. It's like a pro athlete. The older you get, you have certain skills that decline. If you're a basketball player, if you can't dunk anymore, you got to start hitting jump shots.
Yeah. I think Milestone would be a perfect song for us to sing if we did. Definitely.
You know the stuff that you forgot like existed in life. That was a song like I forgot existed. But look, and now like I can hear it. I can hear every single note. Look at the Temptations. Look at the Temptations, right? When they came back together later on, and they had to work towards it. They had to work to get better. They had to work to be, saying when they went in the studio and David was like, you should have stayed on us. My thing is, we can work towards to getting better, and then sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? Anything's possible. We're not gonna say we can't do a cut together or come up with a song together, but my thing is, it just takes time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it does.
Easily we could.
Because we got jobs and kids nowadays, and so you all right?
Yeah, my dog not my thing over.
Okay.
I was gonna say, honestly, with all the advances of technology, sometimes all you got to do is record a track, and I have Audacity, and we can always merge it together, and always. Sometimes you don't even have to be in place, and if you have somebody else that can just like thread everything with the voice in the middle, that can thread everything, it works out. Like that's the other thing.
For example, like I know Earl, you told us to like do like a snippet, like and I was like trying to find time to do that little snippet. Like maybe I could just do something when I'm on, like live, because like having time to like sit down and I live in a an apartment, so you got to find time to some quietness to like, okay, now I'm gonna sing, and you start singing and you're like, man, that sounds like trash.
I'm gonna start. I'm serious. Okay. I'm gonna start practicing, listening to this song more, and I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, like it. It's just something. Like you said, that was actually something I had to put on the list at the age of 41. Write a song, or 2 record something. But I mean, that's again, pandemic pushed everything back, so I might have to make that to 41. But that'd be something to do, just to do that, because.
Hey, that'd be nice if we get a class reunion. We can even sing at the class reunion.
Oh God, yeah. Well, that's never gonna happen then,
bro. I'll be honest, I can never go back, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I just never would go back.
Part of me will want to go to the class reunion, but part of me wouldn't. Part of me would be like to see people I haven't seen in years. But then part of me would be like, besides chilling with y'all, I really didn't enjoy my whole high school. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, besides football and chilling with y'all, my high school life was what it was.
I will say this. I wish I did the plays more in high school, because those were fun. The plays were fun.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
I would have definitely been in the movies my damn self. I would have probably tried to do something different, man.
Yeah.
I would have definitely did something completely different, because like stand-up comedy for me, man, when I do it, man, it's like I love it, bro. I mean, I actually did really well. Just like, believe it or not, I love bowling. I just bowled with like a PBA person, man, and it was
really,
yeah, Walter. I got his. Hold on, I'm gonna show it to you guys, man.
Okay.
care for me.
Yeah, I bowl with this guy right here. He's son.
Oh, I've heard of Walter Ray Williams.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on like my Facebook and stuff with him, man. And like, I mean, I'm really good at bowling, and even though it's not like basketball or nothing, but you know what I mean.
Hey.
But I just, what I mean, I found different. You find like you be crazy. It'd be crazy what you find out what you into. You know what I'm saying? Like as time goes on. Some I never thought that I would even like to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta. You just sometimes you find stuff later in life. I mean, you never know. You might get turned on to something and it becomes interesting. I was gonna tell you guys. I mean, I've been trying to get on another game show again, just because, man, it is not as actually difficult as it was. I was trying to get on Beat Shazam.
Oh, buddy, I was saying about that. You let me know. Let me know.
Like I said, one thing I need to get y'all's numbers too, because they'll do like last time they were doing Beat Shazam, they said to increase your chances to get on. Invite multiple people and just have them available for a Skype call, and then they'll sometimes pick the best two. The best two people work together. Because biggest thing I've learned is here's the one thing I've learned, and since we're live, it doesn't matter. Biggest thing I've learned is this: you want to have a personality. That's the first thing. 2, you have to have an interesting hook to why they should pick you. Because the only problem is funny, for every time I've been on a game show, things have changed. So when I did Sports Jeopardy, we were just talking about, we'd like to travel and all this stuff. And then when it was Pyramid, it's like, I want to win money to buy a house and we want to adopt. And then when I was doing, when I did the chase, and it's like, well, we have a house now. I was like, now I just want to adopt because that's hard. And now anytime I go on a game show, it's like, I don't have any hook anymore because we wanted a house. We wanted the kids. Guess what? They're all here. Now I'm just going to go I'm going to be like those hipsters. Like, I want to build a downstairs podcasting studio in my basement. Or I'm going to say, we need a minivan because, you're going to be carrying, when we travel down to Salisbury, we carry 2 dogs, my father-in-law, a kid, me and my wife. That's going to be enough space. You need a minivan, and you can win some money on that. So it's like, one, you got to have an angle. Not a sob story, but
I never told y'all this story, but I had tried out for remember the show X Factor?
Yeah.
I tried out for that, and when I tried out for that, we were all sitting in the I think it was the old Net Stadium in New Jersey, and I was sitting on the right side of the basketball court, but they started from the other end. They had to work themselves all the way around. And I remember sitting next to this guy who was like, I guess all he did was auditions. And he was like, well, guys, that's it, because they're starting from that side. And by the time they get around to us, they have all the need. So we're just basically here just enjoying time. So then I went out for The Voice. Yeah, I think it was The Voice, and they had us come up to like we were in, I think we were in Jersey there too, but we had to go up to each suite, like a basketball suite, and in each suite there was a producer, and so it's been like 10 or 15 of us in that suite, and so you had to get up and sing in front of the producer, and so the way it works, you got 3 stages, and at the end of the 3rd stage, that's the person who goes on to the show. Mm-hmm. So I got up, I did, Marvin Gaye, Distant Lover, made it through. He was like, okay, you stay, 5 of y'all can go. All right, now 5 are in here, you sing again. All right, you stay and you stay. So now it's down to 2, the rest can go. Got down to me and this little girl, right? And I didn't have like Earl said, I didn't have a niche, I wasn't, some little, smiley faced girl,
right,
with pigtails. So they were like, like Bobby Womack said, you sound good, but you're not commercial. So like this little girl is. So I was that close to get on TV.
Wow.
But like Earl said, you don't have a niche, they don't really want you. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I made the TV America's Funniest Home Videos.
I bet you did.
My jumping over to my grandma's bushes after her funeral.
We should have taped when Tom ran into Earl's car that time.
Yeah, but no, I made it to the my cousin Summer sent it in. It aired on TV. Alfonso called it. Yeah, he aired it. I made it to the semifinals, and finals, and I didn't get selected, but it was a good laughter, and I made it.
Yo, I think a lot of stuff we had taped the stuff we did back when we were kids.
That's my mom's car.
Because when you say jump in the ditch, that same day Tom tried to jump the ditch on a little tricycle with the screen mask on.
No. Hey Tom, remember that time me and you we pushed your mom's car out the driveway? So like Tom was like, "Yo, you trying to go out?" I was like, "Yeah, where we going?" He's like, "I don't know. Let's just go." So we like pushed the car out the driveway into the road.
Start.
And came back. His mom had to go to work. Like she came, like we came back right before she went to work. Like it was the weirdest. I don't know how you pull that off, bro. Like she was like, "Y'all not sleep." And Tom, I'm sitting there like, "Bro, your mom knew she was gonna kill her."
Good thing that dent popped back into place.
Yeah,
when you ran into, or Miss Alfreda would have like
we took
went
her
off
car
all
quite
of
a few times. I can lie to you.
Oh man,
I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, and that's not even the worst incident I had in a Buick, where we had to drive through Berlin, coming back to Newark, no brakes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's just like there was a hole in the brake line. So every time we had stopped to grab something, went to the dollar store to put the brake fluid in there, and then just went all the way through, and it's just like a big puddle. So we could not stop. And this was like an 88 red Buick. So imagine the other Buick, which was gray. This one was red.
I thought the one you had was white. The one you almost killed us in Berlin.
White.
Was that white?
It was white one.
The Cavalier.
Yeah, when you ditched that red light, just cut through all that.
Well, like I said, it's not the first time I had to run a red light in Berlin, so it won't be probably will be the last now.
I think
but
the car was like, "Yo, thank you."
Yeah, that jugger went in the air. Yo, the car was just
like I said, you know.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, man. If it wasn't for Earl, man, I wouldn't have had my first job was with him, man. And,
yo, if it wasn't for Earl, our whole senior year, because we had no car.
Man, Earl, you was the man, brother.
We were going to Earl.
You gotta thank my mom for giving me a car.
Yeah, we to that joint.
Because that way I wouldn't have to rely on my sister or anybody else. Like I said, I would have had a car. Thank goodness I had the. Like I said, I had the Cavalier. Actually, it was that gray Buick, and then it was the Cavalier, and then like I said, honestly,
the jelly donut.
Yeah. Like I said,
what would you think it would have been like if we were all roommates in college? Oh,
well, I would have definitely liked better than my freshman roommate. I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that because we're trying to have growth and get past stuff. But
I was very wild. Very, very wild.
We all had each of us like were kind of wild, but we had levels. Like you and Thomas were like on a different level than me and Earl. Me and Earl were more subdued. Right. You know, you and Thomas were like, y'all wanted to like hit every college experience at the time. And some of that wasn't good.
Well, here's my thing. I was just not built for that stuff. Like I went to a Tall's party. It got closed after 15 minutes. And I went to a basement party. It was not my thing. I tried. It's one of the things I tried and I couldn't do it. And it's just not me. And I'd be lying to myself. And I would be a very unhappy person going to those things because I just did not fit the scene.
You know what's funny though? Even though we all lived in different parts of the campus, or even with whatever, no matter who we met, they were like, "Do you know Kristian? Do you know Thomas? Do you know Earl? Do you know?" It was always like, Korey. It was always people knew us.
You know, the weird thing was we all never went to a party together. I think I went to a party. I think I went to a party with Korey.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever went to a party with Tom and Earl.
I went to like 3 parties. I went to 4 parties. I can count it. 5. Senior the night before graduation, I went to this one that we're having at Arden's Run, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I just went back at 4:00 to go to sleep to wake up at 7 to get ready for graduation. And I'm like, now
me and Kristian always went to parties together, and we always had each other's back at parties.
Yeah. I think those Tall's parties they were kind of crazy. I never went to the basement. Yeah.
I went to one basement party. I was not one. I didn't care, and 2, I wasn't impressed.
It was too hot in there.
What? This is what happens when you have a bunch of black folks together. It's collective heat. That's all it is.
Hold on. Then I parked my car, and I'm like, okay, I gotta back in because there's only one way in, one way out. And I'm sitting there like, it's hot in this joint. And I remember I went there following this girl because she was like, yeah, come to the basement party. I go to the basement. I'm happy because I'm chilling with her. I'm sweating. I'm not even dancing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just standing there and I'm sweating.
No. We didn't go to party. We went to Ocean City together. We would go to 45.
Oh yeah.
Together.
45.
But not. I don't remember. I mean, I got to a point. I'm like you. I got to a point where you kind of went to one. You went through all.
Kristian became my road dog after like me and Thomas always chill together, roll together. But like Kristian, like in college, like you became my like you were. I was like, yo, Kristian, you going? You be like, yeah, you come pick me. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, it got to a point like Earl said, like when life starts to kind of pull you, and you're like, you just start to like say like, especially every party was a fight, which irked me because I'm like, you got all these people here, you got all these nice ladies here, every party that I can remember ever going to, was a fight.
Yep.
Somebody was fighting for dumb reasons. You know what I mean?
Either it's DC Baltimore or something else or
PG. And me living in PG, I'm like, how can y'all be hard? Like y'all got mommy and daddies. Y'all got cars freshman years. Like how can you be hard?
It's like hearing the people from Baltimore talking about how we have an accent and their accent is worse than ours. It was. There was no way. And like I said, I had many people say, "Where are you from? PG? You from?" No, I'm just from the Eastern Shore because I'll honestly admit I don't have the regional dialect. I don't. Not at all.
Did you go to any parties, Tom? I don't know if you ever went to parties.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I remember I stayed with Thomas. Like I'd be like, I'm going to Paul's party. Like I'll see,
HRM kept him busy. I like I said, HRM kept him busy because I have a friend who was the HRM, and like I said, that was a cool thing when they did the dinner theater. I'd help him. He'd load my car. We'd take him back to clusters and eat because that was the one benefit of having friends who are in HRM.
I wish I could throw that crap right in the trash. I would do something else, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I just don't. I don't have the love for it no more like that.
No, I can understand it. You can get burned out by it. I mean, and you can get disillusioned by it.
Yeah,
because y'all were always working, like always.
Yeah, it tears you up, man. I mean, I'm glad I was blessed with good genes.
Yeah. I remember it used to be me, you, it used to be me, Earl, Kristian, and myself, and then Aaron from Wild High, Big Aaron.
Oh, man, I forgot about him. I was like, yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah.
Dante, Robbie, they saying in
they were in the WIC because I used to be over Dante's room with his makeshift water pipe out of a slice bottle.
We used to go there.
Have you seen him now, man? Dante looks good, man.
Yeah. Man, we used to go there, crush his food, but all them raviolis and spaghetti.
I'm proud of him, man. Like he's really.
Dante looks really good.
I will say that in our class, man, there are a lot of people, especially the girls, who are really doing some good stuff. Like they're really really crushing it.
April,
yeah. I haven't seen April in God's sake, probably 10 years.
I actually saw her one day when me, my wife, and a whole bunch of friends were going to Orioles game. We stopped at the Wawa in Cambridge, and I saw her, and that was like one time, and that's at least that's probably 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, because we were all we had a pretty big, group of friends, that's going to high school and college kind of messed all up. But like when I look at them, I see stuff on Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, man, they're really, nobody's slouching.
Yeah, I see Jeff and Brian all the time, of course. I see Jeff, Scott, and Brian all
Little
the time.
man looks tired, Tom. He ready to go to sleep.
You need to go to bed.
he ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, I gotta put my girl's bed and myself.
I know, me too. Yeah.
Get ready for it.
You know to go to the room though. So.
But
yeah,
for real, I thank y'all, man, for all the experiences I had with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? And I never could thank y'all enough for always being there for me. You know what I'm saying? And also give me good suggestions when I was in my own mindset.
Yeah. I mean, we really got to get serious about getting up and, seeing each other, visiting somewhere, somebody, you know what I mean? you know, I know it's gonna be hard, you know, a couple of months, buddy, you know, because you got the little one coming, you know, on the way. Like I said, you know, doctor's appointments go from every month to every week to almost every day, almost every day. You know what I mean? So I know it'll be hard for you, but we really gotta, like, you know, make a better attempt. So I'm talking to my father right now.
Yeah,
we gotta make a better attempt.
I mean, we're almost 40, bro. We're almost 40, so it's like we gotta stay in touch, man. Because like, definitely, you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we love each other, we care for each other, we worry about each other's well-being. We're all proud of each other, so we definitely gotta make the time to get up for each other. I'm definitely serious about the whole singing thing. If y'all are, I'm definitely am. I know, like I said, it's just about time management, but I believe we can make it happen or do something, do a little something, you know.
That was something else I was going to mention before. We can always push the R&B thing to another episode because there's always going to be millions of episodes to do. But I was just thinking about this. One, I saw when they were doing audition for The Voice, they could actually sign up trios. They could sign up a trio. I actually got signed up to do The Voice, and it was like that whole span. It was that whole span where I had tried out for Pyramid, I tried out for Beaches Am and something else, and then I had signed up. I was like, what the hell? Do it. You only live once. It's Pyramid. And then that was right before the pandemic hit, and that was so it's 2020. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should do a trio or four quad. They'd only said trios, but you could probably get a fourth person in. I mean, that's the thing. I saw that because that was the first thing. You could sign up as an individual or you could sign up as a trio. And they were having it right in Baltimore, right in the convention center. That was like last year. And they kept sending emails for the Voice. And now you can, of course, do it at home. But
well, just let me know.
I mean,
yeah, I'm definitely down.
And another thing is, you were just talking about, it's been 20 years since I graduated. What is, and we'll start, whoever wants to go first, what would be something you tell 18-year-old self you? What would you tell yourself from 20 years ago if you had the chance to look at them face to face right now?
Tell myself.
That's kind of deep, man.
18-year-old you, 18-year-old you, looking at them, and you could found a way to go time traveling back to July 18th, 2001. You're heading in, I guess, at this point, heading into college, just finished high school. UMES is you're probably at UMES at this point. When you look at it, we probably all were at this point. But looking at it, heading into your freshman year of college, 20 years ago, what would you tell 18-year-old you?
It's probably what I tell my daughter when she goes to college, and don't let fear, stop you. Like me, I was a big person. Whereas if it didn't look right, I backed off without even experiencing it. Because fear, fear is something that can, like Tom said before, it'd be a biggest enemy because it's you. That's stopping you. And so I would tell myself, and the same thing I would tell my daughter is, man, you can't let fear stop you. Like, the thing that make you afraid are the things that you should probably run, head on and with all your, intelligent thoughts and, with all what you're planning and everything. Like, that fear is the thing that's going to get you to where you need to be. Getting past that through that door it's going to be the thing that opens up your dreams. So, if you're afraid of it, that's the way you should go. Yeah.
Korey, Thomas?
I would tell myself, enjoy college, but don't get caught up in the whole lifestyle of others. And I say that because I was in college, and I say this respectfully, I was in college because of y'all, man. Like, I wasn't in college for myself at first. I wasn't. But then I wanted to be in college. I wanted to graduate. I wanted to say I did something that I thought I couldn't do. So when I hear Kristian say about fear, it was the fear of finding my identity. And I didn't know who I was. I lost who I was at one point. I lost what I was going to school for and what school was about. Y'all know, I was doing everything. I was doing me, cousins, sisters, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't helping me. It wasn't helping me to become a better person or a better man. It was about reputation for me. I guess it was. And I mistreated some people. I will admit that I mistreated a lot of people, and I have apologized to some. Some don't want to hear it. Some said "F you." Some said "Thank you for apologizing" years later. But it's called growth, man. I had to apologize, and I did, and I got it off my chest because I felt like I needed to get it done. But at the same time, now that I have daughters, I'm like, I wouldn't want my daughters to ever get treated like that ever in their whole entire life. You know, for anybody. I wouldn't even want my wife to ever experience that. I wouldn't want nobody to ever experience some things that I did and I'm not proud of. But I'm a better man today than I was then. So that's one thing I would say. I would tell myself is enjoy college, but get the job done first and find out who you want to be.
Thomas, how about you?
I mean, it's too much. I would tell myself, man. You know, a lot of deep stuff I would tell myself, but I'm not gonna. I won't get into all that. I guess the main things is I probably wouldn't have went to college. I'll be honest with you, because I found out later on that I didn't need it to do the things that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I thought for me, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking college. College is great. You know what I mean? If it's where you want to be. I found out later on down the road that I wanted to always be my own boss. You know what I mean? I think college is more geared toward you working for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Which is not bad. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not. But for me, I just always found that I was more of a trade type kid, I think. And I would have probably tried to work on my craftsmanship with my pen. You know what I mean? Some things that I wanted, either like somewhere down the line, I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to be my own boss. You know what I'm saying? Make my own money. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about, punching in and out on the clock. I don't do that now, but I still, you still work for somebody. You know what I'm saying? But probably would have told myself, you know what I mean? If you have something that you're good at, work on that, you know what I mean? And, believe in yourself. Like Kristian said, man, like, we end up following other people's pattern because it's comfortable. And I think the best way to find success and to be successful is sometimes you got to get out of being comfortable. You got to get really, really uncomfortable. And I don't know, like it's just, it goes like, one of those things, man. You got to, find your own path in life. And like, I just feel like I would tell myself that, you got something you want to do, you focus on it. Remember, keep God first, and you push. You push with all you got, because at the end of the day, I look at myself now, and that's funny you asked that question, because I look at myself now, and I always said, like, what if I would have did something this way? What would the outcome be? Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't turn out bad. You know what I mean? I don't think none of us turned out bad at all. We got roofs over our heads, we got good, respectable jobs. We got family, but I always wondered to myself, like, what would if I had took a different path, and if I would have focused more on something, like the thing that I wanted to do, where would I have been at with it? I could be where I'm at now, but I could also been way better, or, doing what I really love. Because that's what life is, man. Like, you gotta, like, you live to do what you love to do until you can't do it no more, and then you're gone. You know what I'm saying? And that's I probably would have just you know, like I said, told myself, like, you know, you're not your father, you Thomas. That was Tony. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. But like, you know, when you don't have certain role models in your life and stuff, you try to like, you know what I mean, borrow pieces.
Yeah, you're borrowing from things that
Exactly.
and they're not real things, you know. I think
Exactly.
all of us, you know, had that in some way, you know, following things of our fathers that we almost as kids put on like a pedestal.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
my dad was this, so I'm trying to get, or I want to ascribe to be like dad, you know, and if dad could tell me, you know, and he did later on, don't be me, be better.
Because you know what's crazy, bro? Like I didn't even know the times when you know I'm in high school and stuff. My brother, you know, who I found out who my brother and stuff was, they own a business right there in Ocean City, man. I never knew that. I never knew nothing. You know what I'm saying? Until I got older, until like now.
Later
When
on,
when I finally met everybody, you know what I'm saying? And it's like dang, man, like you guys knew I was here and didn't even
didn't even cut stuff.
like
Hey, you know, I'm here.
even a birthday card, not a graduation, not nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just like dang, man. But
It don't, and you know, at some point in time, you almost torture yourself with it. You know,
that's the truth, man. That's why I said it's real. It's a lot of deep scar tissue, man. But
like my father's father was, I didn't know my father's biological father until I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. Like the man I knew today as my father's father, you know, Reverend Kenneth Martin. That's my grandfather, still living, still breathing. You know, I'm 10 years old. Dad throws me a magazine. This man in this high-rise building with this, you know, 3-piece suit looks like me. Dad's like, that's my father. I'm like, who's this dude? You know, he's like, you were born in November. He died in May. So you never got to meet him. And he did this, and this. And, you know, we all grew up the same way. You know, we weren't poor, but we were just about poor. Mm-hmm. And there are times when I think, you know, what if he had known me, how different would life have been?
Yeah, but ask yourself this: would you be you?
And see, that's the torture part of it. That's like, I love, you know, I look at my daughter, and I'm like, I know that the role that I chose has to be, you know, tailored to me, and so I had to be doing something right if I'm looking at her. You know, just like your son. You know, all these things, good or bad, culminated to who we are, to where we are today. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you look at your son, he looks at you, and you're like, okay, I had to do something right. You know, the shit was grimy in the past, but, you know, I can take that now, teach him because he's here. And if he's here, and that in itself is kind of a blessing. Yeah. That's how I would look at it. You know, I don't look at it as, hey, I could have been a trust fund baby. You know what I mean? You know, hey, I could have, you know, my grandfather gave Russell Simmons his first deal. Like he put, you know, We Are the Breaks. I mean, These Are the Breaks, you know, Christmas Story, you know, Curtis Blow, all of that was him. So I'm like,
it's crazy.
Oh, what if, you know, if he had lived just 6 months longer to see me, you know, even if he died a week later, my whole life would have been different. But I wouldn't have Morgan. I wouldn't have Heather. So it's like something had to work right.
And I'll say the same thing. Like my father, you know, my real father was never in my life. I finally met him when I was like 26, 27, for the first time. But my father, who I call dad, you know, he lives in Baltimore now, but he's from Philly. But he played with the Delphonics. You know, Kristian, you know, I told you the story. He played with the Ozzy Brothers, played trumpet for them. He played with some other bands, stuff like that. You know, he taught me a lot about music. He taught me things that I never knew growing up. And I always ask myself, what would I have been like if I didn't meet that man and be with my real father?
And trying to emulate who he was.
Instead of trying to be a better man like the one that raised me.
Because we're here, right? We're here, and we all can say that we can wake up in the morning and look at our loved ones and go, you know, I'm blessed. But those chapters in life that we had to swallow because they were so hard, they turned into diamonds at some point because we got who ain't none of us out on the street. None of we all have somebody who loves us, right? Mm-hmm. We all can wake up to somebody who says, I'm down for you, whatever. And so that right there, yes, I would have loved to live in a high rise in New York City, but that's just not how it turned out. And for a while, I had to tell myself that because there were hard times. Like, yeah, my mom was a teacher, but she raised 3 kids. Like, teacher salary don't really cover 3 kids. And so there were hard times, you know what I'm saying? That and in those times I would think about what ifs. But those hard times brought us here, and now we can instill them in the little ones that we have. Because like we said, they're not going to know Snow Hill or Ocean City or the horror of that chapter of our lives. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what we can do is kind of help them understand this is life, and I know how hard life is because I had to go through it. You know what I mean? So whatever you're going through as your father, God has put me in that position years ago, so that when you come to it, I can guide you through it. And that's what we got to tell ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
And one thing, just before the preface is, and one thing you were saying, Kristian, if you didn't, if you had you wondered what if your grandfather was alive, I always was a believer of this, whether you follow the same path, it all depends, but your system, I believe, will tell you will meet people, if not the exact same people, but people just like them, because where your people, the people that you can trust, the people you mesh with. You may not have met us. You would have met 3 other people just like us. It could have been exactly different. It could have been an exactly different scenario. I always say the same thing. Had I went to College Park instead of the UMES, I always wonder. I probably would have met. I mean, again, I would still been in touch with you guys, but other people I've met, I may not have met the exact same people, but I would have met people just like them, because you have a sense of knowing, people you relate to, people people you can trust, and people, stuff like that. It wouldn't be anything different. I mean, I don't think the names would have been different, the names and faces would have been different, but the same core values would remain.
Well,
And I also think with my thing, I would tell myself 20 years ago, going in the UMES, be more sociable. That's the one thing I feel like I missed out a lot on. I feel like I missed out on some of the stuff that Korey was able to do. I feel like Korey did a lot of stuff that I want to do, and probably I did a lot of stuff that Korey probably would have semi been interested in. I don't know, but I see it like this. I feel like I missed a lot on being social. I know this when I was doing academic team, I was doing drama. It was really small group of people. And I regret that, because I was doing an interview with a bunch of people I was on the academic team with, and I said the one thing I do regret when we were down in Florida all those years when they were cheering on UMES and they were cheering on us, I wish I was more sociable. We were too aloof. We kept to ourselves, and that and in hindsight, I was like, man, we were of the people. We were the people, and we just, I don't feel like I fully responded to that. And I also would tell myself another piece of advice: aim high, because there's element, and I try not to go through regrets and stuff like that. There's one career regret. I always wanted to get into being a sportscaster. I wanted to see if I could do it. I watch these kids on WBOC now, and they are awful. And I think I could have easily done this. I had my own hang-ups about, and again, a business where it's superficial. You look at it superficial, you always think about that. Like someone who carries a lot more weight, they're not gonna be as judicious and as media friendly as they would be. I mean, but then when you have the Al Rokers, you have some of these other people that are heavier people that are on TV, and it's like, if you got the personality, it shows, and those things can be fixable down the road. That was my one regret.
I wanted, and I mean, I joke about it, but in high school, I wanted to be a producer / actor. I did, but it wasn't that kind of acting.
Yeah.
It was, I was serious about it. Like, for real, like, I looked at how much money they make, but now with all the different diseases and stuff like that, I'm like,
you talking about that actor?
yeah,
Yeah, I already knew. I already knew.
I'm glad I didn't, follow that role, but I was serious about it because I knew somebody that was in that field. I knew somebody that showed me a lot of money and like, well, yeah, I make this much money off of our clip, but then, like I said, learning all the different diseases and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go into that route. But
well, look, like I said, these are all the things, like good or bad. Like we've all had things that kept us up at night. We've all have gone through things that brought tears to our eyes, and we had to question the universe, why this. We had things that were like the greatest thing that ever happened to us in our lives. But all those things, we have to look at them in perspective of who we are now and why we're here now. And all those things, like my wife always says, you will be able to tell Morgan about hardships in life that I may never have gone through. And she may come, when you ask these things, why, you can tell your child when they come to you and ask you why. You have a direct knowledge of what it takes to get to point A to point B, because point A to point B ain't easy. There's stuff all in it.
Right.
And so, I got to put a butt on it, man. Like, like I said, we're just here now to be God and lights for the little ones while we are still learning ourselves and achieving things ourselves. Like Tom's talking about being a business, working for your own. I'm the same way. Like I never thought I would be the type of person where I wanted to be my own boss. But now that I'm an adult and I see things clearly, I'm like, that's definitely what I want to be. Like I don't want to be all my life working for someone else, because that's not really, if we talk about wealth and getting out and making things better, being your own boss is it. You know what I mean? 10 years ago, I would never thought that. I was still, museums, a lot, archivals, which is still what I want to do. But I also want to be my own boss.
Right.
So yeah.
Look, guys, I hate to run because I gotta get the little ones ready for bed.
I know we all got. I know, right? They all looking for us.
On
the little man is like Tom. Where you at?
He in bed. He know what time to go, man. I'm good. I'm Gucci, bro.
But yeah, I really appreciate you guys spending this time. I know the initial purpose would just sort of get back on the R&B thing, which is cool, and there's plenty of time to talk about that. There's millions it's sort of a bit of a cathartic therapy session when you think about it. When you look at it, especially when there's the perception that Black men don't do therapy, but that's a whole different story and a whole different mindset. But I mean, I always think this is good to reconnect and get back with each other. And I honestly think, and we can talk about this off air, but we definitely, the idea of getting back together and doing something musically, I'd be all for it. It's a case. We're all sort of in a place where we're all comfortable, and like I said, I know Thomas is eventually thinking about moving back north, and that will happen, and that'll make things a little easier.
It's gonna happen, man. I'm actually it's probably gonna happen January, so I'll be
come over this side with me.
That's where we go. My sister's in she's in God, was it Bowie?
Bad. That's like 10 minutes away.
I think she's in either Bowie or where did I tell you she was going, Korey? Because I know I told you.
Was it Gaithersburg?
It starts with an God, what is it? It starts with an M.
Yeah, she told me the other day. She told me the other day.
Morgan?
No.
Nah. It's
or a place. A city?
She told me the other day.
I can't think of it, man, either. But I know she's across the bridge. Either Bowie. She's in Bowie.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where, but she does like the medical stuff out there. Because my sister's like, she lost mad weight, bro.
Yeah, I seen it.
Oh yeah, I saw.
She don't.
Jasmine's up here.
Jasmine, yeah.
Oh, she's on. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, she just moved. Yeah, I saw that. She just moved.
And
okay, she probably, if she's doing medical, she's probably PG. She's probably a PG.
Somewhere she is out there. But she told me to, she want me to come. I mean, I told her I was gonna go move back out toward that way because I'm the only one down here. Me and my little family, you know what I'm saying. So we gonna move up that way.
Okay.
Yeah. We up here. We wait. I mean, it's like Korey.
You already know. Listen, you move back here. You already know.
We're between DC and Baltimore.
We can meet up. We can meet up midway. We can meet up. Whatever.
In the city. You two are Earl know DC and Baltimore.
I'm like seven. I'm seven. I'm less than an hour away from. I'm about an hour plus away from Baltimore, and I'm like 90 minutes from DC.
It's like an hour.
It's not even
for me from Baltimore, from where I'm at. Like an hour. 15 minutes.
Nah, that's a good thing about living in Laurel. You're 15 minutes from each side, baby. 15 minutes from DC, 15 minutes from Baltimore.
All I got to do is get on 95, and because I'm Delaware straight shot down 95. Delaware to Baltimore is like I said, 70 minutes. I do that. I do that in my state. Newcastle. I'm like 5. I can spit on Wilmington basically. But, see, somebody already took the joke from him, but but I'm not even that far away from Wilmington.
Earl's more between Philly and Baltimore. Like the two big cities are Philly and Baltimore.
Tom, the minute you move back and you get settled, we got meet up. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. I'm near Miami right now, so like
you need to come down. I need to come down there.
Yeah, I need to come. Yeah, we need to come.
I mean, Florida's great, bro. It's a lot of it's just heat and rain, man. I'm always used to like the cold and stuff. I don't mind it, but here, man, it's too flat, man.
Yeah, I know that.
It's too flat, bro. It's nothing, man.
Well, it's not always flat, but I got you.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys see a lot of that down here, but it's like it's overrated, bro. Like the mindset down here, man. Like once you talk to some of these people, man, you like, what in the hell? Like they may look good, man, but
the mind's gone.
Like they're too like it's too commercial, bro. Like everybody want to be like a Kardashian or something, man.
I hear that.
Damn mouth with collagen and their butts is fake, and
I hear that.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of you get caught up down here. It's like a little Vegas.
Never trust a big butt and a smile.
And it's definitely poison. But that's the thing. No, no offense, man. I'm gonna say this real quick, man, but there's no like, up there, there's no beautiful black women here to me.
No identity. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's none.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm like, yo, man, like they're all like just like.
I know what you said. Like we lived in that. We live in me, Thomas, and Earl to an extent. We live in a very pro-black cultural area. Like women walk around with the natural. They walk around with the locks. Cut on the side. It's a culture thing that it's a bubble. But it's our bubble, so like I know what you're talking about. Cause down there, I'm sure it's like
and I'm going wrong. There's beautiful people here, bro. Mm-hmm. It's just when I'm like, well, where are my sisters at? Bro, like it's like they all hood, man. I mean, it's hood, man. It's hood. I'm talking about the nails like this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like they walk out with the little knit caps. Oh wait, what is it? The shower caps, not the shower
bonnets,
bro. But that's like out in public, bro. It is what it is, you know what I mean. But I'm like, dang, man.
Yeah, come on back. Yeah,
bro, come on back.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Look, the minute you come back, come on over. I'll light the grill up, let the smoker ready.
This man want to cook some turkeys.
No, with Korey, it'd be salmon.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with salmon. Salmon's good.
Yes,
I'm not. Salmon. I have the four major food groups: salmon, fish, salmon, beef, pork, and chicken. Those are 4 major food groups.
Today I did salmon, chicken, and I did brats.
I had a brat today. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't drink. I don't smoke, man.
Me either. That was never our thing.
And I say that, bro. Yeah, I say that proudly, man. Like, that's why I feel so good, man. I don't feel bad. I never feel bad. We are touching 40, man, but I don't even feel like I don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like
same way, Tom.
I feel active. I still play ball.
You're only as old as you feel.
Hey, that's right, Earl. That's right.
Amen.
And
hey,
bro,
guys,
I want to tell you too, Earl, man. I appreciate you doing this, man. Like getting us all together, man. Because you're a good dude, man.
Yeah.
I've always thought that.
Oh yeah, Earl was always the brains of the group.
Yeah,
You
real
were.
maniac,
You
man, smart.
were.
You will always be successful, man.
Earl would be speaking in
appreciate
class, and my mom would be like, "Earl, what's the question? What's the answer?" He wake up, he give you the answer.
Yeah,
Hey,
Not
You make us think, and I always say that, and I say that respectfully. You make us think because like you'll have an answer, and then we're sitting there like, how do you come up with that? But we gotta. That makes us think more. Because
I never forget that. Yeah, I never forget that. Yo, you'll be in class and knocked out, and you knew all the answers, and I'll be like, "Why? What is going on?"
if I actually studied, I know it. Other times,
now, if you could have went to class for me in college, that would have been.
No, you had law. Well, you had a lot of criminal justice class. I can't say that.
I was studying. I was studying, but it wasn't.
Okay.
No, like I said, certain classes it takes me a while to. It takes me a while to. If my study thing like this, if I cram, I'm good for only 15 minutes for studying because it then all of a sudden just starts disappearing, just like it's just like fades away. Because if it isn't something I'm not interested in, I used to finish my class from like when I was doing communication class, I finished my test in like 15 minutes because I knew it and I was interested in it. Because if it's something you're interested in, you will know it inside and out. That's all it is.
Yeah, I love art. I love art history, and I was good at it, but I never got a test done in 15 minutes. Like,
if I knew it inside and out, boom. It's not. I wouldn't, and I always say this. I don't think it's about. Believe me, there's smart and there's genius level. I wish I knew how. There's certain things. Like I said, I know nothing about rocket science. I know nothing about biology. I know nothing about that. I can retain some memory. It's good enough to win me some money on a game show. But other than that, I'm like I said, I don't know what makes rockets go and all that other stuff. That's out of my pay grade.
Oh man.
But look, fella, I really hate to go. I mean, if we can do this all night, I could.
Yeah, me too.
I got to get ready for the academy in the morning. So
yeah, Korey, get ready to shoot people
for that.
And I got you. Let me sign us off real quick, and that way, and we can do it a nice clean break for everybody who's been watching. I hope you enjoyed the opportunity of coming into our world, just listening to us talk. We'll be doing this again. Not sure when this will run in the podcast form, but again, everybody keep your eyes out. We got some more interviews next week, sometime in the next few days. I'll be talking with Dante Finney as well, and we're gonna try to work that stuff out. And there's plenty more episodes.
Dante.
But for everybody who's been listening, for Kristian, Korey, Thomas, I am Earl Holland. And again, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the other side.
Love you, bro.